Well, good rising, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with me, Karen B. It's another fine Moonday morning, isn't it? It is, and I'm a little late. Sorry about that. You know, I've been up since like 4:30 a.m. I don't know why. I think Ted's alarm kind of woke me up. And for whatever reason, if I get up early, I always start the stream late. It's like I get distracted doing other things, watching stuff, and well, that's what happens. And it is a 63% waxing gibbous moon because we're heading towards a full moon. Yes, we are heading towards a full moon. And then the next new moon phase is going to be the eclipse. So, there's that. Anybody traveling to get into the path of totality for the eclipse? Ted and I are planning, a little road trip to Indiana. His sister lives in Indiana, so it's kind of cool. They live in the path of totality, so they're gonna let us commandeer their domicile for eclipse filming and observation. This should be fun. So that's what's going on. Catching live. Been in Guatemala with daughter since January. Artist here. That's cool. Guatemala. How's Guatemala? Thunder Chicken. Hey, welcome back to civilization, Thunder Chicken. I mean, uncivilization. Spicy Sarah. Do I see a Spicy Sarah? Oh. Okay, let me go to Rockfin and say hello to Psyop with a Psyop. Scott Hunter. Carrie, good to see you. Matrix 6 on Rumble. Great show with Crow 777 last week. Thank you. That was a fun show. Crow is fun. He actually has a good sense of humor. Okay, so Tony Coriolis, Zulu 1, Joe Cool, Aisling 717, how you doing, Cammy? Benny Boy, Danny Smith, Alpine Endeavor, Jameson Kimbrell, Scrotal Xerox, Earth First, Space Later, Larry Mattia, waiting for Karen's dulcet tones and calming attitude, punctuated by acerbic insight. Richard B, hey, what up? Down under, down over. Karen is brewing coffee and doing her makeup. Yes. Well, actually, I just started doing my makeup. I haven't even touched my makeup. Isn't that awful? Pimp moiled my foreskin. Oh my god. Oh my god, that name is funny. Mojo Shop. Chicago artist. Spicy Sarah. Band Fake Meat. Dave Messenger. Jenny Spark. David Harbor. Good Times for All. Sherry Ives, Juan Truth, Good Rising, Lord Frybread, Lord Frybread. Your name's hard to say. Did you know that? Eric Paiva, Nemo 289. Feather Warrior. Good to see you, lady. Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, so there's an eclipse coming up. Less than a month away now. It should be fun. I'm just looking here and trying to figure out how I want to do my makeup. Is that bad? I'm sorry. Does it bother you guys if I don't do my makeup before I start my stream? Boring. I know. What I want to do? Choices, choices. I'm gonna go for green. I want green. By the way, I don't know anybody who pays attention, but I did swap the sound on my microphone, so maybe now if you're looking at me, I'm actually talking into the correct ear, and it matches the visuals now. You do you, we love it all. You're biased, Sarah. You're biased. I used to always put on my makeup in my car once I got to work, right? I do have my coffee, G-Monk. I was planning on driving near Indianapolis or Bloomington area. Yeah, well, okay. There's varying degrees of path of totality when the eclipse comes. Let's bring up an eclipse. Eclipse map. April 8, 2024. Images. I'm trying to find a big one. Great American Eclipse. .com. This is, let's see. Ah, here we go. Okay, so here's Indiana. Right. Now, this is the path of totality in yellow. You have to be in the middle of that path to get the longest actual visualization of totality. Because you see how the circle, it's widest in the middle, and then it gets smaller as it goes out towards the edge, because that's the geometry of a circle. So if you want to get the longest totality, you got to be right in the middle. This is a long eclipse, up to 4 minutes. Up to 4 minutes it'll be actually blacked out, which means that the sun and the moon will actually be aligned like 100%. For 4 freaking minutes. That's a long time. The one when I went to South Carolina for the 2017 eclipse, actually I'm gonna do it this way. For the 2017 eclipse, it was 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Like if you go watch my video, you'll even see. It's 2 minutes and 37 seconds of totality. I even timed it. God dang it. I put the brush in the wrong thing. But I even timed it, right? Off the video. So that's a long time. So anyway, where Ted's sister is, it's not directly in the middle of the path. It's like a little bit on the outside. So I'll probably get about the same amount of totality as I got last time, about 2.5 minutes. And I'm totally okay with that. I'm okay with that. I was able to film the eclipse in 2.5 minutes. Before, I can film 2.5 minutes again. I have no issue with that. So that's where I'll be. I'm going to be in like south of Indianapolis, and we're going to get, hopefully, 2.5 minutes, which will be plenty. It'll totally be plenty of totality. And I'm going to bring everything that I have to film with. I'm gonna bring my drone. I'm gonna bring my P900. I'm gonna bring the P1000 that Cami let me use. That has it's the infrared P1000. So I'm gonna use that, and it'll be, I don't know, it'll be cool. I think. Should get some good footage. It should be fun. Obviously that's a Monday, so that's the 8th, so there will be no coffee talk that day. Maybe I might live stream off my phone a little bit to like say hi and show you guys what I'm doing if you want, or if I feel like I have the capacity to do it. But yeah, should be fun. Who's going to the eclipse? Path of totality. Path of totality. Hi, Jana. Pregnant and meditating and had an energy shoot up my spine. Was that during the actual eclipse? Like during totality or what? That's pretty cool. Ethiopian coffee grounds. You know, they are predicting cloud cover in the northeast for the eclipse. Of course they're predicting it. They're probably going to spray the shit out of us. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, speaking of the interview with Crow, remember he brought up to go ahead and do the vinegar thing. So I think that's what we're going to do. Like, if it gets nasty, I'm gonna do it. Because it works. It's not practical, though. Like, really? You know, it's, like, cool that it works, but at the same time, you can't be boiling 3 gallons of vinegar every day to keep your sky. That's just not practical. Right? And I can't really speak to the efficiency or efficacy of what do you call it? Orgone, cloudbusters and stuff, because I really haven't, I can't say I've noticed it. I haven't really tried, to be honest, and I don't know. How do you use them? I will be boiling vinegar at your house. Yeah, Carrie, you know what? I have a hot plate. I have a little electric little burner and a pot. I'll leave it out for you. Because seriously, that's what we got to do, right? Piz and vinegar. No, not the piz, just the vinegar. Don't need to boil the vinegar, just put it in direct sunlight. Well, what if there is no direct sunlight? See, that's the problem. What if there is no direct sunlight? I stood in my driveway and watched the 2017 eclipse. Yeah. Yep. I drove into South Carolina to get into the Path of Totality, and I just found this really cool little park, you know? This really cool little park, kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was like almost like an industrial area. It was like tiny, and there was only like a few other people there. It wasn't even that crowded, you know? So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed watching the eclipse that way. And you know, this is the last eclipse in America for like 20 years. So that's another reason I really want to see it. Because I've been looking at like where future eclipses are, you know, and man, it would be so cool to travel to just go film these different eclipses, be an eclipse chaser. But some of them are in really like strange places. I'm not sure I want to go to, like Chad and in Africa. Like there's an eclipse that's going to happen in Africa, you know, and I'm sure it's really beautiful there and it would be really cool to go see an eclipse there, but I don't want to go to the middle of Africa. Like, what's travel going to be like at that time? You know, it's like, I don't know. I just don't know if it'll be something that's viable. You know, who knows if, you know, can't really predict the future. So, so I just want to make sure I get my last chance. I want to take advantage of my last chance to go see an eclipse, right? Who doesn't want to see an eclipse? I've got to find my, eyeliner. Where did it go? So much crap on my desk. I'm slob, you guys. I'm a total slob. Just full disclosure, in case anybody was wondering what it's like. What it's like with Karen. She's a fucking slob. What version of vinegar? Just distilled white vinegar. Just regular, you know how Costco has the big giant jugs for super cheap, like $3, just generic? Just get that. Get the cheapest bulk white vinegar you can get. It doesn't have to be anything special. I wouldn't get the cleaning vinegar because it's really, really strong. Everyone that is coming to the New York Solar Meetup, get one of these 1000 BTU and bring a pot and some vinegar. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Do it. I would love to see everybody do that and then like clear this. That would be so funny. It's Moonday and it's clear skies here. Yeah, the weather's been really nice. Really nice here. I mean, that's why I didn't do a Friday stream because because I was out in my yard and I was planting plants. I bought some new plants. You know, I did my normie thing in life and I went to Lowe's and I bought some new plants, some flowering shrubs for the front of my house because I've been trying to landscape the front of my house with more flowers. So I got an azalea bush. I got a blueberry bush. I got a new blueberry bush because my other one was not doing well and it died. Because it was like an Aldi blueberry that comes in one of them boxes, and then I planted it and it just never did very well. You know, that's like when you get like the cheap $4.99 blueberry. Like that's what I had and it never did well. So I spent money. I spent like $30, $30 or $40. I think it was $30 on this really pretty, well-established blueberry bush. And I planted it. I also got a forsythia. I bought a forsythia, which is also called a yellow bell. Which out here in the south, it's like in the springtime. It's this really beautiful little shrub that has these pretty bright yellow flowers on it. And in the springtime, the whole thing will be covered with bright yellow flowers. It's really pretty. And I just always wanted one. So I finally got myself one, planted it. And then I had these two pitiful apple trees in my front yard that actually I started from seed from some organic apples. I was like, I want to see if I can grow trees from. Yeah, that took forever. I had them for years. They never did anything. They're horrible. Like, it's not easy to grow. What do you call it? Fruit trees from seed. You know. And I'm also just not having very good luck with fruit trees. Like, I have 2 peach trees, but the peaches always fall off before they get ripe enough to eat. They don't, I don't know what the deal is. I don't have very good luck with fruit trees, although I really, really would love to have some growing so I could get fruit. I also bought a fig tree, another fig tree, because I like figs and I want a fig tree. And the last fig tree I got, it dies every winter. I mean, it comes back, but it will never grow to any substantial size if it's dying back every winter. So I got a different fig tree that's a hardy fig tree that's hardy for my zone, because apparently the other one wasn't. And why are you selling fig trees that aren't hardy in our zone in this zone? Like, I don't get it. Why would you do that? So, I'm gonna get this crap out of the way. I'm almost done. Hail, Ben. You gonna build a pond to swim in? Nice. Central Oklahoma, where all the storms began, clouds built up and dumped tennis ball size hail in under 2 hours. You know what? I saw that, but somebody was saying, I saw that on Twitter, but it said it was Mexico. So was that in Oklahoma? That's crazy. I saw it it was like bashing in windshields. In this video I watched this morning while I was making myself late for coffee talk. Possible blizzard in a few days. Well, let's get it out of the way. If you plant apple seeds out of an apple you eat, there's a 250,000 to 1 chance of it tasting good. That's hilarious. Well, they never even produced apples. They were shit. So I pulled them out, or Ted pulled them out. I said, okay, it's time to pull the apple trees because they suck. They're not doing anything. They don't even look good. So we pulled the apple trees out, and I bought another tree. Surrounded by trees, and I go to Lowe's and I fucking bought a tree. Can you believe that? So I went and I bought this Jane magnolia. It's really pretty. It's like a magnolia tree, but it's not as big as the big white magnolias. Like, it's a smaller breed or smaller species. And the flowers are pinkish white. So it'll be this like bushy type tree in front of the house with these big, because magnolias have those big blooms. It'll have big pinkish white blooms, and I'm excited. I'm excited about all the flowers I got. The azalea I got is red, and then the blueberry has pink blooms, and then there's the yellow forsythia, and I already have some purple flowers. I got white iris. So I'm pretty excited, I have to say, about how my house is going to look this spring, all the colors I'm going to see. I am excited. This is my favorite time of year. And this old lady gets excited about flowers. I think it is like one of the best things in this world are these beautiful flowers that every year they come back and they just brighten everything up. And then they bring the bees and the butterflies and And then, it's just a great, I love it. I love it. I love springtime. I love spring and summer. It's my favorite. Like figs being wrapped in burlap, and your figs like being wrapped in burlap. Burlap, huh? Burlap. Maybe I'll try that. I didn't pull out that fig tree. It's still there. But I am going to plant probably that other fig tree nearby it. Because it is a good spot for fig, because it gets good morning sun in that spot. And that's what you want. For most things like to have morning sun, That's why I put the garden on the east side of my house. Did all that. All right, I think I'm done. Sorry. What are you guys saying? If 100 people do that once, it'll stink pretty bad. It might get stinky on Eclipse Day. Apple seeds are not true to fruit. Yeah, I've heard that. Once I harvest a lot of blueberries from an enormous plantation. We love blueberries here. Yeah, the deer, they did. One of the trees did get chomped by deer, a whole bunch. Yes, I had to we had them things around them and stuff to stop it, but you can only do so much. There we go. Planted a pomegranate tree several years ago, and last season we have a grip of pomegranates. I know, dude, pomegranates are very, very prolific. And then all of the seeds inside of them. Pomegranate is I was thinking about, actually, it's funny that you bring that up, because I was thinking about this yesterday, because I was looking at something that was talking about the symbolism of a pomegranate, in the Bible. In the Bible, if you read, anybody who's following along with an anti-religious scripture study, in the Bible, it says very specifically that Yehovah wanted pomegranates embroidered into the bottom of the priest's robe. And so it makes you wonder, what is that? Why? And if you look at the pomegranate, the fruit itself and the tree, because I had a pomegranate tree when I lived in West Sacramento, that freaking tree spit out so many pomegranates. Oh my gosh. It was mind-blowing. And then you go to the store and it's $3 for one pomegranate, right? I'm like, shit, I should be selling these things, because I would have this tree just dozens of pomegranates. And so I was thinking about that and thinking about how prolific pomegranate trees are. And then when you open the pomegranate, all of the seed inside of it, it's what a beautiful sort of symbolism of the realm of life, of the abundance of the realm, of the abundance of life, and the whole thing where the creator, when the creation is first made, it's go forth and multiply, inhabit the land, be fruitful. And so the pomegranate tree is extremely fruitful. It is one of the most fruitful trees. And it's so funny how they cost so much money when you go to the store. I don't know why that is. Oh, thank you, Richard, for gifting 10 memberships to the Karen B channel. You are awesome, sir. Thank you. Egyptian traveling onions, hobo onions. We have onions in a container. Apparently, if you put dryer sheets on your trees, the deer avoid them. Oh, really? Dates are good too. I like dates too, but I can't have a date palm. Date palms can be grown in, date palms are grown in California, and they are grown in Florida, I believe. But yes, like one of the biggest date palm producers is in Southern California. And dates are delicious. The majority of fruit trees came from crafted trees. Yeah. Yeah. Or like they just have a generic tree and then they graft like, you know, a young thing, a sapling or whatever onto the tree so it will start growing. And then I've heard that people were doing this in San Francisco. They were grafting other fruit trees, like different types of fruit onto different trees, so that there was like a couple trees there that were like growing multiple types of apples or multiple whatever. Understanding fruit trees don't usually grow true to seed. A weird slant to stories like Johnny Appleseed. Huh. What do you think was going on there? That's an interesting thought. The Jewish people believe that the number of seeds matches the number of mitzvahs. What's a mitzvah? What do you mean? 613? What do you mean the number of mitzvahs? I know bar mitzvah is like a young man's, like, it's like similar to like quinceañera or whatever. But I don't know what just mitzvah means. I'll have to look that up. Mitzvah refers to a commandment from God to be performed as a religious duty. Jewish law in large part consists of discussion of these commandments. According to religious tradition, there are 613 such commandments. In its secondary meaning, the word mitzvah refers to a deed performed in order to fulfill such a commandment. As such, the term mitzvah has also come to express an individual act of human kindness, keeping with the law. For some mitzvot, the purpose of is specified in the Torah, though the opinions of the Talmudic rabbis are divided between those who seek the purpose of the mitzvot and those who do not question them. Alrighty. Pomegranate. Etymology. The name pomegranate derives from medieval Latin pomum, apple, granatum, seeded. Possibly stemming from the Old French word for fruit, pomme grenade, apple of Granada. Granada, which is derived from an Arabic word, garnet. Garnet derives from Old French granat by metathesis. So garnet is related to pomegranate. Dark red color. The number of seeds in a pomegranate can vary from 200 to about 1,400. Coat of arms of Spain with a pomegranate at the bottom. Hmm. Interesting. Look at all this stuff on, and look at pomegranate has its own thing on symbolism. Does other fruit have that? Ancient Egyptians regarded the pomegranate as a symbol of prosperity and ambition. It was referred to the Semitic names of Jinim or Nim. According to Eber's papyrus, one of the oldest medical writings from 1500 BC, Egyptians used the pomegranate for treatment of tapeworm and other infections. A pomegranate is displayed on coins from Side, as Side was the name for pomegranate in the local language, which is the city's name. The ancient Greek city of Side was in Pamphylia, Side or Seed, I don't know how to say that, a former region of the southern Mediterranean coast of Asia Minor. The Greeks were familiar with the fruit before it was introduced to Rome via Carthage, and its figures in multiple myths and artworks. In ancient Greek mythology, the pomegranate was known as the fruit of the dead and believed to have sprung from the blood of Adonis. The myth of Persephone, the goddess of the underworld, prominently features her consumption of pomegranate seeds, requiring her to spend a certain number of months in the underworld every year. The number of seeds and therefore months vary. During the months that Persephone sits on the throne of the underworld beside her husband Hades, her mother Demeter mourned and no longer gave fertility to the earth. This was in ancient Greek explanations for the seasons. According to Carl A.P. Ruck and Danny Staples, the chambered pomegranate is also a surrogate for the poppy's narcotic capsule with its incomparable shape and chambered interior. On a Mycenaean seal illustrated in Joseph Campbell's Occidental Mythology, the seated goddess of the double-headed axe offers the 3 poppy pods in her right hand and supports her breast with her left. She embodies both aspects of the dual goddess of life-giving and death-dealing at once. Why would that be? I don't understand why that would be associated with a poppy, though. Opium, or poppy tears, is dried latex obtained from the seed capsules of the opium poppy. Approximately 12% of opium is made up of the analgesic alkaloid morphine, which is processed chemically to produce heroin and other synthetic opioids for medicinal use and for the illegal drug trade. The latex also contains the closely related opiates codeine, thebaine, non-analgesic alkaloids such as papaverine and noscapine. Blah blah blah. I mean, it kind of looks like a pomegranate, but it's just, I don't understand the geographic origin. Spain, southern France, and northwestern Africa. So, is that a pomegranate on Spain's coat of arms, or is it a poppy? Just curious. Anyway, squirrel. The leaves on top of each pomegranate form a Star of David. Does have 6 points at the top. Oh, that's another good reason right there. That's sacred geometry. Freedies. Oh yeah, Tommy. Tommy got arrested. Does anybody know the story there? Yes, grafted trees. Pomegranate molasses, also known as dibs, rumman, what? Middle Eastern seasoning consisting of concentrated pomegranate juice is usually used in fish, meat, and dishes. Huh. I had some pomegranate vinegar. It was good. I think I still have it. Pomegranate vinegar is good. Good rising, Canuck. Paul Unslaved made Brian O'Shea homeless. The fuck? One grows up, the other grows down and in bunches. Yeah. Let me open my phones, you guys. I'm sorry, I did not do that yet. I think I started to, and then I started reading.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
All right. There you go. 848-222-2480 is the call-in number. Tony, are you still in Rome or are you back home? Or are you still not in Rome, but Italy? Italy? Hello, what's up? Grandma will talk for 4 hours about fetus growth, but denies the facts about the hidden Tartara millennium. Tartara millennium? Are you calling me Grandma, James Snyder? I'm not a grandma yet, but I'm looking forward to the day that I am a grandma. And there are no facts about the hidden retardtaria realm. You guys are a bunch of fucking morons. Just like you can't even spell the name of your... You can't even spell your own belief right. You can't even spell hidden right. In Siena? Oh, I love Siena! Tony! That's where the oldest solvent bank is, in Siena. Remember when I was looking that up? I don't know if you remember. But Siena is the city that is completely surrounded by a wall. I loved that city. That place was really cool. So, yeah. Let me see here. That's really cool that you're there. I can't wait to, I don't know if you're going to be able to share pictures when you get back, but I hope you do. And I want to see. He's in jail in Texas. He got arrested. Tommy drove off the edge of a cliff? He drove off the edge of a cliff? Ray? What? Being a grandpa is the best way, better than being a parent, right? I'm ready for that. I'm not really ready for it, but that's going to be my next phase. Here, I had it up in one of these tabs. I gotta find it. Is this it? Here we go. Bail money for Tommy, tell the truth. I'm sorry to laugh, but oh my god. What the hell did he happen? What the hell did he do? Canuck says, I have 2 grandsons. I love it. G-Monk says, dream job being a grandmother. Right? Right? What, like, and this guy's over here calling me grandma as if it's some sort of insult. Like, dude, you don't even know. I've been a flat earther for about a decade. I have been called everything, every name, been told all the horrible things, and for you to come up here in my chat and call me grandma ain't no fucking thing. You're gonna have to try harder than that. But you probably won't get the chance, because probably either somebody will mute you or I will. Because, you know why? Because I don't really have any tolerance for retards coming to my stream and trying to commandeer my chat with their stupid retard bullshit. I have a strict no retard policy. I don't know if he fell asleep. I hope. Yeah. He rolled over? Jeez. Do you know how to clean up from lead in the system? I've been drinking out of a kettle for 8 months and it had lead. My white T cells count is 0. Oh, geez. I do not. But, there's got to be a way to get... I mean, that's a heavy metal, right? Good night. I don't know. Illuma dummy. I'm a 52-year-old grandparent. My oldest grandson is 12. I get to be a kid again. We are making fireworks this coming weekend. Hey, that's cool. Cook on cast iron and take iron supplements. Chelation therapy will help get rid of heavy metals. Okay, chelation therapy. You got to look into that. I don't know really much about that. I've heard that cilantro is good for removing heavy metals from the system in chelation. So you could try, adding cilantro to your diet. Some people think cilantro tastes like soap due to an unfortunate sort of genetic trait that they have. So that may not be an option for you. There are no tards on flat Earth. Canuck says, I want to thank you for learning about crystals. This world is made up of crystals. Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you. I love crystals. Crystals are the key to the realm. They have so many secrets. So many things to tell us about the realm can be learned from studying crystals. I mean, it really is. It is the key. One of the keys. Even like, in fact, I was just looking at this. Let me look. I was just looking at this. I was looking at some Kabbalah stuff today. Even this, the Kabbalah, this like symbol from a very, from the Kabbalistic teachings, the super secret Kabbalah teachings you're not even supposed to study till you turn 40 or whatever. These, to me, look like crystalline lattice structures. I mean, it is a crystal lattice structure looking type of thing. And then when you combine it together, they call it Jacob's ladder. This looks like a crystal to me. That's what it looks like, a crystal to me. So, I think there is a whole hell of a lot more to it than what they tell us. It's more than just, gypsies and crystal balls and New Agers. That's why, that's why I get called the New Age witch, because I talk about this stuff. Because I'm trying to take the New Age stink off of it. It's not New Age, it's old. And it's not even, it's timeless. It's not even old, it's timeless. Right? I mean, it just is. It is. Hello, Nathan. Buy a Ducati. Cilantro tastes bad and ants stink. You go to an IV clinic where they remove a pint of blood and clean it with UV light and ozone and then back into me. But for what, though? What does that do? What does it clean? It clean what? Global Healing Detoxodine, best way to remove heavy metals. Crystals are light rays that got, well, that's basically what they are. Crystals are like light and sound in a solid form. Basically is a way to think about it. The New Age witch grandma, yeah. Tommy was saved because his blow-up doll acted as an airbag and a flotation device. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys are hilarious. You're terrible. You guys are fucked up. Did I see Brian in here? I mean, it's crazy that to hear that he rolled over, but I'm assuming he's okay because they put him in jail. God, my first thought is he okay? But I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Careful use of EDTA can chelate heavy metals. What is EDTA? It's easier to make it. Calcium nitrate and potassium carbonate combined make potassium nitrate crystals after cooled. Huh. Hi, the Spiral Life. Oh my gosh, I got a phone call. Witch hunting in old times was a way of getting rid of the naturalist healers to pave the way for their form of medication. You know, Danny, maybe so. That might be true. So that they could drug people with their opium, right? With their opiates. And the cocaina. EDTA is in most hydroponic fertilizers. You're late, Rico? I was late. Okay, I'm curious what EDTA is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Is this it? Ethylenediamine tetraacetic acid? That's a fucking mouthful. Is known for its abbreviation is an aminopolycarboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. With the formula blah blah blah. This white water-insoluble solid is widely used to bind to iron and calcium ions, forming water-soluble complexes even at neutral pH. It is thus used to dissolve Fe and Ca containing, so iron and calcium containing scale, as well as to deliver iron ions under conditions where its oxides are insoluble. EDTA is available as several salts, notably disodium ETA, tetrasodium ETA, but all these function similarly. Huh. And EDTA is added to some food as a preservative or stabilizer to prevent catalytic oxidative decoloration, which is catalyzed by metal ions. Water softener, medicine, dentistry, alternative medicine, acts as an antioxidant, preventing free radicals from injuring blood vessel walls. Well, this stuff's like in everything. Side effects. Exhibit low acute toxicity, has been found to be both cytotoxic and weakly genotoxic. In laboratory animals, oral exposures have been noted to cause reproductive and developmental effects. Whoa! Reproductive and developmental effects? I found both dermal exposure to EDTA in most cosmetic formulations and inhalation exposure to EDTA in aerosolized cosmetic formulations would produce exposure levels below those seen in toxic and oral dosing studies. Huh. Metal EDTA chelate. Coordination chemistry principles. Chelating agent. It is a hexadentate, six-toothed chelating agent. What is a chelating agent? Is a type of bonding of ions and molecules to metal ions, involves the formation or presence of two or more separate coordinate bonds between polydentate and ligand and a single central metal atom. These ligands are called chelates, chelators, chelating agents, or sequestering agents. They are usually organic compounds, but this is not a necessity. Claw. Chelation is derived from the Greek chele, meaning claw. Huh. So it's almost like carbon, kind of, then. In how it grabs heavy metals, I'm guessing? From what I gather? I mean, I'm not a scientist. We're up to 688 for Tommy Tell the Truth. Helps the metals uptake in roots. Yeah, Cammy, you got the cilantro tastes like soap gene. Sorry about that. "99% of indoor-grown dispo weed has EDTA." Wow, that's pretty close to 100. Close some of these tabs. Can you smell ants? Is that what you're talking about? Ants stink? You can smell ants, Ben? That's crazy. I can't smell ants. but I can hear them. And I don't like them. In fact, yesterday I was killing lots of ants. 20 grand? Is anyone near Tyler, Texas when Tommy gets out? I'm sure he's going to need a ride. Tyler, Texas? Is that where he's at? Let's see where is that? Where in Texas is Tyler? Oh, he barely got in. Yeah. He is not even to Dallas. I wonder where. What happened to TTTT nutshell version? He was driving across country to go to visit Daryl at his farm in California. And he was driving and he had an accident in Texas. Apparently, he drove off the road, got into an accident, and when the police showed up, they arrested him for possession, I'm assuming of cannabis of some sort, but I don't know. And so now he's in jail, and he needs to be bailed out. That's all I know. Can you guys describe? They smell like burnt brake fluid. Burnt brake fluid, huh? He's at Smith County House of Corrections. If you hit ants with a magnifying glass, they smoke and smell bad. Nobody's talking about the worst thing that happened to Tommy. They definitely confiscated his bucket. Well, maybe traveling around with a bucket bong is not the best idea. Texas is rough, right? Texas is rough. Some places will bail them out for less. I'd start shopping around. Spicy Sarah says, I hate Texas and avoid it as much as possible because of the laws. I've gotten arrested down there for weed and it wasn't, she says it was pleasant, but I'm guessing it wasn't pleasant. Not pleasant. Yes, not pleasant. Can't believe you got arrested for weed. It's so crazy to get arrested for weed. Ben says, I did 8 years in prison for weed. That is so crazy to me. Like, are they... It's all about mincing cilantro with onion, says G. There you go. What? That is so crazy. 8 years. Almost a decade of your life gone for weed. That is so stupid. And now it's everywhere. Now nobody cares. Now they have their own version of it being sold almost everywhere. Like, what a fucking just travesty, dude. That is just... fuck? Right? Like, what do you do? Like, you know, now that they probably would never give you 8 years for, I don't know what got you 8 years, but you probably wouldn't get that now if you even went to jail at all. Are they going to give you your time back? Are there going to be reparations for your slavery, Ben? Where are your slavery reparations? Because we all know that the prison system is nothing but the slavery organization, right? That made in America slave labor. He's still going to have a court date. They will give him a probation, but maybe he can get it transferred to a different county. It is so stupid. Possession of less than a pound. What a fucking... Ben. That just ain't right. It ain't fucking right. I did 56 days in Florida for a pipe and resin. Possession of cannabis and paraphernalia. How long ago was that? And you know, Nevada too. Nevada used to be super strict. I remember in California, like, okay, when me and my friends, we were teenagers, we'd get caught by smoking pot by the cops. They would just make us throw it on the ground and stomp it out, and then they would take our pipes. And that would be it. They'd be, now go home, right? Because they don't want to do all the paperwork and just all the bullshit, because they'd be doing paperwork for days if they actually, you know, booked or put in the system everybody that they caught smoking pot, right? So they just would tell us, just throw it away. They would make us throw it away, and then they would take our shit, and then we would go. And then there was but it was always well known because we lived, you know, close to Nevada, and it was close enough to drive there. We'd go to Tahoe a lot, you know, or Reno or anything like that. It's very well known that don't even fuck around with pot in Nevada, because they will arrest you. They will straight up, they don't care how little it is. If they found a roach in your ashtray, they would put your ass in jail. 2011? Yeah, see? So now it's legal there. I mean, you guys, did everybody see you can go to Vegas. They have like all these bougie dispensaries in Vegas. You get all this like fancy, I mean, we went, right? I mean, now it's just like, it's all fancy and whatever. I mean, it's just a joke. It's a fucking joke. So where's the reparations for all the lives that they fucking ruined over pot? It's just so stupid. That was in South Dakota. I don't know that it's even gotten better there. Look at the governor now. God. With that see you next Tuesday's in charge of South Dakota now. That bitch is whacked. $18 years of probation, Ray? Jesus, how do you manage that? How do you manage to turn 18 months into 18 years of probation? That's fucking crazy. Illegal not to smoke pot in Canada. Yeah, you all are a bunch of stoners in Canada. Wow, Billingtano, that's crazy. In Oklahoma, pre-medical approval, judges put people in prison for marijuana. Now major investigators in gross profit either way. Yep. Also got arrested for streaking in East Nashville because I swore I would if Bush got a second term. This is back when I believed all of that. Also. Fuck Rico. Had my credit card stolen at that dispensary, Karen. Oh, that's right, Cammy. That's right, I forgot about that. I just happened to pay cash that day, or my shit would have got stolen too. Colin? Oh, Tony. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. Tony Coriolis.
Hey, what's up? How's Italy?
Hey, doing good. I'm sitting here in the Siena Square, having some olives and a gin and tonic.
Nice.
Living the good life.
Nice. I'm gonna bring up a picture of where Tony is right now, you guys, because it's totally cool.
It's so cool, and I didn't even know about the horse race thing that they do here.
Yeah.
I definitely thought if we ever end up getting like a community started, we got to get our own horse race type of thing going. I think it's so cool that they do every year, that thing here.
Yeah. In the Piazza del Campo, is that where you're at right now?
Yes.
Cool.
It's right where I'm at right now. I'm probably at like 5 o'clock, or I guess 7 o'clock if you're looking at it, right now, like how it kind of forks out. But yeah, no, it's awesome here. And just kind of, I'm going to be a little quick, but the whole covering up the pagan stuff back in the day, what do you know on pagans?
What do you mean covering up the pagan stuff?
Well, the fact of like the Vatican being a pagan building, and then even each tour guide that we've had 3 different ones, they all just kind of act as though, oh yeah, of course the people before were pagan. Like before the Romans came and took over and made it all Catholic. It might just be a simpleton thought, and I don't want to be just inventing stuff, but did the pagans know about flat, and they just lived off of more of the land, and they kind of just paid more attention to the stars and the sun? They were more naturalists. Is that correct? I don't want to be inventing stuff,
Well, yeah.
But what do you think on just pagans in general?
Yeah, from what I understand, a lot of the pagan stuff is just them basing their lives around nature and the cycles of nature. Which, there's not, if you look at it, there's nothing really wrong with it, but yeah, I don't know. I have to say I haven't studied pagan stuff that much, but it's interesting.
Yeah, and me just kind of being the simple-minded Tony Coriolis guy, I like my Farmer's Almanac, I've talked that up a bunch, and I just feel like the pagans used to already know the Farmer's Almanac like the back of their hand, type of people. It's just kind of what I think. And then, what do you know? And then the Romans came in and got rid of them.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I also kind of play video games too much, and there's one video game that I play, it's Assassin's Creed Origins, and in that, it's like, you're the assassin guy, and you're killing the Romans all over, and you're smashing statues of Ptolemy. Was Ptolemy like a part of the Roman? Was he like a Roman philosopher or anything?
I don't know if he was Roman, or was that Greek? Ptolemy's. Okay, yeah. Sure. Oh no, I'm sorry. He is Roman. 2nd century Roman mathematician, astronomer, and geographer.
Oh, okay.
So who was smashing statues of Ptolemy?
In that
Yeah,
you're
game.
In the Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah, you're smashing statues of Ptolemy, and your assassin guy is rolling around with the patch of like the Eye of Horus is his symbol. There's something to it. I don't know. I haven't fully thought it through. I got a billion things in my head right now.
Yeah, I bet, especially going over there and looking at all that stuff, I'm sure.
Totally. And you know how I said I got into the car accident like right before coming over here?
Yeah.
So I said how like 11 years ago I got into a car accident and I got severe concussion to the left side of my brain. And now I guess if I got a little concussion, it was to the right side of my brain. And I just feel like the one that happened to the left side of my brain, it kind of clouded everything. It kept me kind of foggy, and I felt kind of retarded after, if I'm being honest. But then when the one happened to the right side of my brain, speedy recovery and just, I don't know, I'm thinking clearer, if that makes any sense. And which side does control, the one side that controls your sleep is the left or the right? Which one is which again?
I don't know.
Okay. I do all my research here, so Karen, I really appreciate you answering my random questions I got for you. I love it.
Yeah, well, you ask interesting questions. It is interesting, but so do you think then that your latest accident kind of undid or reversed the stuff that happened by the first accident?
Maybe. I'm not sure, but I just know vividly I am more aware and I feel no cloud to my brain as I did feel when the left side got hurt. The left side, I really just had to get through the cloud that kind of entered my brain. I kind of had to rework and relearn everything, and now just this one that happened to the right side is almost like it kind of cleared me up completely, if that makes sense.
Well, not really, but that's very interesting. I don't understand it.
I hear you. Yeah, no problem.
But it's good that you're feeling better. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, and my eyes healing up like Superman. I kind of look good. A little bit of scars in the eyebrow, but it's kind of hidden. So yeah, I'm all good. But just one last little thing, and then I'll hop off, just because I know I shouldn't be doing these international calls all too long. When you said about reparations for people who have gotten locked up for weed, the whole Ben Balderson, when he did that thing with the Christian whistleblower, the interview, he had a whole restaurant that but he ended up losing it all because he had to spend so much time and locked up because of that bullshit. So yeah, it really fucks everyone over. I am trying to just skate under the system and not be ever picked up by anything. So I really feel bad for Tommy. Hopefully he's right back in the mix soon. That sucks, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for calling and keep enjoying your trip.
Yeah, I got you. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on having a great time. And Thunder Chicken, yo, what up, dude? Glad to have you back.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, all right. Peace out, Karen B.
All right, later. That's cool that he's over there in Italy. I bet 90% of Flat Earth has a pot charge on their record. Too funny. Now nobody cares. Did several months in jail. Now nobody cares. Right? And then they want to give slave reparations to people who were never fucking slaves, whose parents were never fucking slaves. Hell, their grandparents weren't even slaves. But you people who went to jail for pot, yeah, fucking suck it up. Vatican's one of the creepiest places on earth, yes. The Christians subverted it. No tards allowed. We're having Eclipse get together in Sulphur Springs, Texas. There you go. Sorry, I'm looking back at Rumble chat and there's a bunch of chat in here, and D Hoopai says they're having a get together in Coleman Park in Sulphur Springs, Texas, weather permitting, during the eclipse. So if you're in that area, you'll know that there's some flighties out there going to be watching the eclipse. The way the wind patterns work in U.S. look for heavy chemtrails 1 to 2 days prior to the eclipse. If they plan some blocking or sky events, that might indicate a possible false flag. Zeolites clear metals. Well, I have a question about zeolites though, because I've been seeing some stuff, some people like reading some articles recently. Like there's this whole thing going on I haven't really talked about it. Oh, 11/11. Oh, I just missed it. There's this whole thing going on with these alternative, freedom health movement supplement companies that I've been following that's been going down. There's this company called the Wellness Company, and like a whole bunch of alternative media, alternative news, whatever you want to call these people, the new gatekeepers of America, are sponsored by this wellness company, and they offer people up to $10,000 a month to sponsor their channel and get promoted on their channel. And all these motherfuckers are like, they have these crazy ties to Blackwater, to mercenary groups, to big pharma, and other weird elitist, type of ties. And to be having that kind of money, to be a startup, to be like a grassroots thing, and to be having that kind of money to go to all these like dozens of content creators and offer them thousands a month to push your product. What's going on here? And it's like they're also related to like that Dr. Zelenko, who was telling everybody what supplements, just regular supplements. He wasn't trying to sell you a prepackaged version or a buy my name brand. He was just like, go get XYZ and it will help you. And that guy died, I don't know, a few months back, or within this last year. I don't remember exactly when he passed away, but he passed away. And so after he passed away, a bunch of people started using his name, and they called it Zelenko Labs, and they started mass producing these supplements and start peddling them to all the people who are now completely disenfranchised from the medical system because of the lies and the complete and utter disastrous sort of thing that has been going on the last few years. I can't really get into too much detail because that will be breaking YouTube terms of service, because you cannot even question the existence of the magical thing known as C19. So anyways, so they're starting to market their supplements to everybody. And it turns out that they're shady, right? There's some shady crap going on. And there's people, I've been reading a lot of random Substack articles. Now, I haven't gone into it enough to sort of verify if it's true or not. But there is some chatter going on about zeolites being used to enhance biosensors inside of people. So if there is nanotechnology, nanocrystalline things that are being put into the right conditions, the right sort of environment, which would be, a human body that maintains a temperature of 98.6 degrees and has a constant flow of water, might be a good place to put that stuff. And these said nanoparticles self-assemble, hypothetically, theoretically, and then people take, these supplements, right? Because they think they need to take these supplements, which you don't. I didn't really change any supplements that I've been taking the last few years. I didn't add anything. I didn't add any zinc. I didn't add any vitamin K or vitamin D or any of that stuff. I've just been doing the same thing I've been doing, which is try to eat as clean as possible. And I do take Shilajit. I do that regularly. And I also take collagen because I'm an old lady and I want collagen for my skin and hair. And that's it, really. And I never did anything different. And I didn't get sick during this whole time. Didn't have any problems. So, then they got all these people convinced that they need to take these supplements. Well, now what is in these supplements? And what is the real underlying sort of secondary thing that's going on here? I don't know. But it's really fishy. Really fishy. So I would just implore you, if you are one of these people who are into taking supplements, do not take these new trendy, freedom movement suddenly, just do your own research, find good sources for these supplements and anything that you feel like you need to take. Try to, the cleanest version possible. Not everybody has an agenda, but it does seem that there is a group that is specifically targeting people like us, people like anybody who saw through the BS of the last 4 years, right? Ugh, fuck you, Trump. So I would just be wary of that. I would just be cautious and maybe not buy those new packaged trendy all-in-one things, and maybe just, maybe ask around, ask some friends. There are some things that are okay, like David Avocado Wolf has links to a lot of good supplements. Crow 777, his website, because he's interviewed so many people who do make things like this, has a lot of good links to good supplements. Amanda Vollmer, yummy.doctor. I still like these sources, but these things that you're seeing advertised on, the bigger but not mainstream sort of news places, look, as I'm not gonna lie, doing this, like being any sort of content creator where your content is geared towards revealing deception or wrongdoings, or exposing like anything about the cabal or who's really in charge of this place. Yeah, you do so out of a passion for truth, a love of truth, and a desire to get other people to know that they are being lied to, so that they can then too be aware like you and make better decisions in their life. Be more critical of who they watch, of what they consume, what sort of products you consume, how you eat your food, your life, how you run your life, right? Like, anybody who does that is doing it, you're never going to get rich. Anybody who's breaking anybody's spells, you're not getting rich. Okay, you're basically living off of the donations of your viewers. And so these people, I think some of them probably get offers from these companies, and they're like, oh, that's a whole lot of money. And then they become sellouts, because then they can't criticize that, or they're going to lose that income. They become dependent on it. Okay, so you just got to watch out for that stuff. And I don't mean and it's not really anybody who's a flat earther. I'm talking about bigger than that, like InfoWars type level, that sort of thing. I do it for money. Yeah, right. Hey, Ted. Magnesium and vitamin C when I need it. That's about it for me. Yeah, I got some good vitamin C in my cabinet. I do take some magnesium too. Tried the black cumin seed oil. Didn't notice anything, but who knows? Well, if you don't really notice anything, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It could just mean that you're doing better than you thought you were. Unless you're trying to correct or help a certain issue, Zeolite drastically reduced lead in my system. I use the powder and water. Yeah, I don't know. I had, like I said, I haven't really researched the whole zeolite enhancing biosensors thing, but it did come across my path. That information did come across my path, and it's just something that I'm kind of looking at in the background. But next pandemic, planned in the way at the start. They start it now. The new biosolution industries. Five new lambs while I was gone? Aww. Just eat some rich dark soil, says FE Nation. That's hilarious. My doctor told me I have to smoke this tea he grows with some weird lights. What? I'm supplement suspicious too. Pressure cooked chicken feet. Is that a good source of collagen? I mean, my chickens are for eggs. I don't eat my chickens, but think comedians get bought out too? Yeah, some of them. Absolutely, Tony. I feel like they probably try to buy anybody they can get on the payroll. Actually, I should just go to, let me see. See if I can find some of that stuff. Anyway, I don't know if anybody follows Amazing Polly. She used to be a Q-tard. And then she got deep into researching during the whole Q thing, and then she got out of the Q thing, like woke up from that, and now she does really good sort of dot connecting background research. Not unlike Whitney Webb. Why I'm not seeing her stuff here? Did she get fucking deleted off Twitter? It's weird not to see her stuff in here. Not gonna lie. Don't tell me she got deleted. Or she being banned. Dude. No, there she is. But I think they started shadow banning her on Twitter. So this guy, Foster Coulson, he's like the CEO of this. Of this wellness company. And she's been doing a lot of stuff, listing who is on the payroll. Look, here he is with Justin Trudeau, Foster Coulson, with Trudeau. So red flags in the TWC narrative. If you guys go to BitChute or Rumble or wherever she puts her stuff, I think. Let's see, where is this at? Rumble. Yeah. You could watch that. And she raises a lot of interesting questions about the people who started that company, the ties that they have. And then there was a whole thing where she started pointing this out and they started doxing her, started attacking her. It was crazy. It was like she stepped on a hornet's nest. And they were like, what are you doing? We're all on the same side. We're fighting the new, like they just started, like they were threatening her with lawsuits. And I was like, whoa. I mean, anytime you want to know, like who's doing shady stuff, it's like, it's all about who you can't question, who you can't talk about. Just like there are laws saying that you cannot question or deny the official story of the Holocaust, that is suspicious in and of itself. Just like, anytime there's any sort of rule about it, come on, brother. Eat the rich. You have too many roosters? Amazing Polly is great, yeah. Yeah, she does a lot of good work with like these really tedious sort of investigative jobs where she goes and backs and like connects the dots of these people. You know, I did not have the patience for stuff like that. I just assume they're all shady anyway. And then basically what she does is she proves it. Joe Rogan said he thinks it's more interesting to think that they faked the moon landings. What does that mean? Post a link to what? What do you need a link to? Really Graceful. That seems familiar. I think I've seen stuff from Really Graceful, but I don't think I follow her. Good rising, Josh. Ooh, you are late, sir. I'm just kidding. Oh, we have callers. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, Karen. I'm going to put this in a Dr. Law kind of way, but Karen, did you know that when a country goes bankrupt, it only gets to keep between 3 to 10 miles of its land and the rest of it is one huge corporation?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something most folks want to look up. But basically, this works pretty much anywhere. But see, any court outside of that radius, teensy-weensy radius, I might add, is basically not a real courtroom. And there's a really legal way to explain how the court has no jurisdiction over you. Basically, since this whole thing was designed for when a Mason gets busted with his hands in the cookie jar, he gets to go home the next day. Basically, I made a video that explains that, plus a whole lot of other stuff that are benefit to you that they don't explain when a country goes bankrupt. The video on YouTube, all you got to do is type in who wants to be a millionaire, but wait, you already are. No sales required. I made it a really long name so that folks can only get to one video. But basically, it also explains how they lie to you about the money end of things. And it's based on a website. See, everybody went and made a website. One guy made it, and then he basically started telling other folks, and some folks made a website. And I just made a video explaining how to use a website, which is absolutely free, that explains that basically, like, you already been looking into the straw man thing, but this sort of speeds it up because through these guys, the way they explain it, you can do you can have your credit cards free in about 2 months, and you get a house within 6 months to a year. And on top of that, about a year after that, you can start writing yourself checks for as much money as you want, pretty much, because it's already your money, and there are really easy legal ways for you to go get it. And like I said, also, the other thing, the fellow there that got messed up and needs to clean out his blood, I kind of thought it was funny because the one flower that women don't like is daisies because they're free and all over. Basically, if you look up how to make daisy tea, it'll clean out your system really good. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
free, I might add.
You mean like dandelions?
Just
Or daisies?
dandelions. That's it. That's what I'm
Dandelions.
thinking.
Yeah, dandelion tea. That sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My head's all over the place. But basically, if you look that up, you can clean out your system. Just make sure you find whatchamacallit, the ones that fields that haven't been sprayed. Let's put it that way. And as far as telling the court you have no jurisdiction over me, I've already tried it twice, and then they just back off me completely. Both of them for not complying with COVID regulations, and one of them I ended up kicking a cop in the balls. I got hit for that, but I still walked out the next day with everything dropped because the courts have no jurisdiction over you. Basically, the whole catch to the court system, I might add, is when you first walk up, they ask you your name, and the moment you give your Christian name, you're officially admitting to the court that you're a minor retard, incapable of making any decisions for themselves, and are begging the courts for anything that they deem fit, which is like basically the first thing that a judge always asks you in court is, what's your name? Even though they just called you up, they opened up the file, it's got your picture there, they still want you to say your name, because the moment you say it, and the other thing that everybody gets taught is get a lawyer, and a lawyer isn't on your side. He's basically working for the court, and you just paid him. But basically, you can't have a lawyer there when you tell the court you have no jurisdiction over me. And on top of that, you tell the court that you're a compatible adult human being, and you say that a different way than your Christian name. So basically, the name of the video again is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? But wait, you already are. No sales required. On YouTube, I might add. Basically explains that. Explains how you can. Explains a website actually that is completely free, but nobody gets it because everybody's stuck on the long system of a straw man, which takes eons to realize. And in this case, you could be, I'm in the process, and basically, but the whole thing is that I got screwed with ID, so it slowed me down, but I just got my ID, I'm starting up. So, but within, like I said, 2 months, you can have your credit cards free. Plus, it takes a little bit of time to look into it. Plus, anybody you know in jail, this, I might add, works for some folks who already are in jail that you might be aware of. You can get them out. You know, it's going to take you a couple of months to look into it. But technically, if you know what you're doing, and if you want to write me, and on the video it tells you how to contact me on Skype, you can speed the process up.
All right, that's enough of that. Jesus Christ, does that guy ever come up for air? Fuck's sake. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey there, it's Dennis. How's it been?
Hey, good. Dennis, how are you?
Oh, all right. If I could say kudos, just the last guy where you said, does he ever come up for air? If I may make a suggestion, there's a movie with Kirk Douglas from the early 1960s, Lonely Are the Brave. It's based on a novel, The Brave Cowboy, and it has a lot of the themes, what he's talking about, a way to basically evade the radar of the system. It was Kirk Douglas's own personal favorite of all the movies that he ever made, including Spartacus. It was about this guy who he lived like it was anachronism. It was set in 20th century, but he lived like in the 19th or 18th century. He didn't have an ID. He was off the grid, and he did jobs, out in the country, rural, and it's a whole movie. But Lonely Are the Brave, and it has a lot of deep themes in it. But anyway, that came to mind while he was talking. I had two things based on what Tony Coriolis was saying, but before I mention them, could I ask? You did get the bullwhip, yay!
Yes.
What do you think of it?
I have the smaller one. It is,
Yes.
and it is easier to snap. I haven't spent as much time with it yet. I do have it here.
Yeah, you just got it like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah. Yes. My children keep trying to take it from me, but I won't let them have it.
So if you do make a video that Mark Sargent uses, it's probably going to be with the smaller one, the slightly shorter one, because you can. How do you say? You've got more.
It's easier to crack. I can crack the other one. I don't know. We'll see. When I get everything set up, maybe I'll just bring both of them out and see which one looks better.
Yeah, the other one's like a big dragon's tail that slithers around at your beckoning. But the other one, it's 2 feet shorter. I mean, for the same reason you said, it's just easier to. You probably got over a long term. It's easier to use. You got more finesse with it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, Tony Coriolis you brought up, I think Ptolemy. I think you're talking about Claudius Ptolemy, not the Greek pharaohs of Egypt, but in other words, the astronomer. And you were talking about pagans at that time, and to recap one thing, at least of my knowledge of it, is that the early Christians were flat earthers, and that in spite of what was Russell's book, who came out in the 90s, that denies this. But there's several histories of science, good ones, even into the 20th century, that say that the pagans, the late pagans, and Claudius Ptolemy as an example, were globe earthers, and there was a dispute in the early church. There was as far as cosmography went, the Christians were flat earthers, and the late pagans were globe earthers. Now, Cosmas, the Egyptian monk who wrote the Flat Earth book, he gives credit to Ptolemy's astronomy. It's accurate with the epicycle, and he got that from Hipparchus. It's the same astronomical mathematics for computing star positions and eclipses and stuff. But it's the same. It goes to Hipparchus. Maybe he got it from someone before. I don't know, some Egyptian or Babylonian before him. But as Greek astronomy goes, Ptolemy's, I think he had 3 main books. He may have had other minor ones, but the 2 major ones, his Almagest is his book on astronomy, and that's the one that Cosmos is accurate. It's a good book. It does posit a globe Earth, but that doesn't interfere with the mathematics. Just like in the ancient Babylonians, they had accurate astronomical data in spite of the fact that most of their cosmographies were globe Earth. I think the globe Earth idea came from was Babylon, Mesopotamia, but it was spread by the Greeks. There's about it. I think a student cited it at the 2008 during his debate with Skiba. It's Mesopotamian Cosmic Geography by Horowitz of the Hebrew University, and it shows how the globe belief era, what we call an era, it originated in Mesopotamia, with Babylon. But anyway, the Ptolemy's three major books, the Almagest, which I think I've got it, it's a great book for astronomy. And I say one more thing about it. They say in the time when heliocentrism came out with Galileo and Newton, just the spreading of lies, they say that the epicycle, that mathematical formula that Ptolemy used to predict eclipses and things accurately, many centuries beyond his own time, they say that's obsolete. Well, it's not. There's an American astronomer, Charles Lane Poor, and he came out, I think, in 1925 or so, or the early 20s. He's got a book called Gravitation versus Relativity, and it says in there that they call it by another name, but the ancient device of Hipparchus, the epicycle, it's what scientists still use today to compute the star. They just call it something else, but it's to say that it's discarded. That's just it's not true. It's still the same thing, geocentric formula for computing the star positions and all that they've always used. They've never gotten away from the truth. The truth is the truth. But yeah, that's Charles Lane Poor in his book Gravitation versus Relativity. It's a book written against Einstein, but it has a lot of good information on debunking myths about science. The only other, I say before I say the last thing, is I'm talking about Ptolemy. He had his three main books, the Almagest, and then he's got that's on astronomy, and he's got the geography, own geography. It's globe Earth, and it's a more debatable use. But his third one, boy, its own I forgot the name, the Tetrabiblos, and its own astrology. I'm interested in his Almagest. I do have the Almagest and the geography. I haven't had time to look at them yet, but his anyway, those are the three main books that Claudius told me. But you had also talked about Tony with Tony about the Vatican, and
With Tony about the what?
Conference. The Vatican, the papacy.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I got back from one thing interesting, I got back from an Orthodox Christian conference in Alabama over the weekend, and it was talking about the Ecumenical Council in Constantinople in the year 880, which it was all five patriarchates of the early church participated in, including Rome, and it condemned Rome's core heresy, the filioque, with a different understanding of God, which I won't go into. I'd say one writer, there was a huge takeaway I thought was interesting historically, because they had a council 10 years before that was very under Pope around the year 869, 870. And the papacy made a lot of big changes a couple centuries later in the 11th century, right around the time they started the Crusades. And it became like their ecclesiology was no longer a college of equals, but it became more like a pyramid where everybody obeys the Pope. Like in their church today, you could have 100 or 1,000 bishops in the West say one thing, they're convinced it's right, but the Pope, if he doesn't agree with it, it overrules the whole thing. It's a monarchy, and there's many things that they began to claim jurisdiction in the time of Pope Nicholas around 870, and they repented of this, and that council 10 years later, after Nicholas had died. and they kept that same way for a couple centuries. But then the 11th century, it reverted back, and they've since around Hildebrand or whatever in the 11th century, and the papacy's been on the same basic same formula ever since. But all these things around the year 870 under Pope Nicholas, they were these things that became mainstream, unfortunately, in the Middle Ages, late Middle Ages. They were brand new under Pope Nicholas. And it was not just him, it was mainly him, but it was several popes. And there's a researcher at the conference, his name was Patrick Truglia, and he pinpointed this one writer by the name of Anastasius the Librarian. And this is cutting edge research. But they've got documents where he admitted, where he's in the Acts of this Council of 870, he ghost wrote all these decrees of these popes, Nicholas and others. All of a sudden they departed from this ecclesiology where the papal primacy and other things. It all goes to it all comes from Anastasius the Librarian, and including these these famous forgeries like the Donation of Constantine. Most scholars claim it's from the 700s, but the actual evidence is from around this time of that Council of 870. So what Truglia is saying, with evidence that Anastasius the Librarian, more than any other person in history, is responsible for the change in the West from the early church to the blood-dripping medieval popes and the iniquity that the degenerate Western civilization became afterward, but it began at that point. So he's got a book, The Rise and Fall of the Papacy, viewing it as falling back in the 11th century, but he examines in depth on this the 9th century, where this sea change happened in the early church in the West, but was resisted in the Christian East, in Byzantium. But anyway, I just when I mentioned that Anastasius the Librarian, that was a huge takeaway. I know a lot of people with the Protestant or agnostic point of view the papacy having fallen not in the 9th century, but way back in the 4th century, with the views that are critical of the Emperor Constantine and all. But I'll just mention that Truglia's book, and there's others from the Eastern Orthodox who showed that the papacy, I think the book's like 10 chapters, one on each century of the first millennium, showed that the papacy of the first millennium was a very different beast of the papacy of the Crusades and afterwards. Everything in common with the Christian East. Anyway, that's all I got.
All right, Dennis, thanks for calling. I'm curious, who is Paul and O'Shea faked the arrest with a wrench, and why? Who are you? I don't like it when people change their channel names and then I don't know who they are, and then I feel like I have some like strange rogue wrench on my channel and I don't know who you are, what you're doing. I'm gonna have to remove, just because that's weird to me. I don't know you. Yeah, Dennis has been studying this stuff for a long time. I was trying to find my sound effects thing. I think I need to update it. I haven't played with it for a while, but... Let me see. Is that a good bubble? Oh, NDB? Okay. I'll put your wrench back then. 'Cause I'm like, who is that? Sounds like farting in the bathtub. Then I should have a stream where he just does that on his long hauls. He probably could, like, mount a camera on his dashboard and just talk. Probably could. What do you mean Paul and O'Shea faked the arrest? Do I even want to know? I don't think I want to know. I stopped following those, all that stuff, because I just don't need that negativity in my life. There was one sound effect I wanted to add here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, buddy, that's the one I wanted. Toilet flush. So I can flush people down the toilet. I would have flushed that other guy down the toilet. Alright, guys, I need a refill and a short break. I will be right back. back. Ah-cha-cha-cha. Kayla Chesney is Rethink. Sounds like melted buildings. Cup noodles lunch. You guys are funny. All right, so yeah. That's what's up. What else is going on around these parts? Can I give a shout out? I'm going to give a shout out to Tartarian Truth. Tartarian Truth is one of my guilty pleasures. This guy knows how to edit a video to elicit a laugh, a laughter response. Florida police and jails are brutal. Is any jail good? You just, like Tony said, it's best to just stay out of the hands of the authorities at all, if you can manage it. You know, and it's really not that hard. Just don't do stupid stuff. Don't hang around stupid people who do stupid stuff. How many in the chat haven't been feeling well lately, says Liz the Iron Maiden. Well, Liz, I just got over a forced detox myself. I didn't stream one day. I think I missed one of my Monday streams, and you know, then there's a couple of episodes there where I was like hacking stuff up. It's bad. Hey, you changed your name, Rethink. We need laughter, right? We do need laughter. This is what I'm saying. Do you guys want to watch one of his videos? They're pretty good. He makes fun of archaics, and it's gold. Let's see. This one is right here is funny. Wait, archaics just wanted a seat at the table. Still being troll. Shit happened when he was 17. Get over it.
Just kicking back here in Texas.
No, I don't want to watch that one. Do I want to watch that one? Rants in the parking lot of a local business.
Happy afternoon, my friends. See that chat's rolling? That's good. I know you guys.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Give me an audio check here in a minute. I'm not even talking loud.
Two hours later.
I seem to be ticking off a lot of people. Didn't mean to start that way.
It says, what does it say? We join Jason seemingly admitting the only reason he's attacking people is because he's not a part of their group.
I just wanted a seat at the table.
I'm not trying to reach up there and talk to a bunch of guys that got millions of subs and all that. It's not me. I'm not even interested in that. So
now I'm just going to have to attack the whole table.
Look at his shirt. Shit show supervisor.
I'm cool with that. I'm very comfortable with that.
Holy shit. I'm sorry. I won't make you guys watch it. I'll watch it alone. Do you guys want to watch it? Just tell me in chat if you want to watch it or not. I'll watch it offline. I don't want to make you guys... I don't want to... off and on under the weather. Two people I know aren't feeling great. Well, I mean... I don't know. It just depends. It depends on what... Everybody's habits are different. What are their eating habits? What are their vices? You know... Like for me, I know what forced me into a detox, and I knew it was coming, you know, and I could have avoided it myself, but I didn't because I'm a stubborn, habitual human. You know, it's like sometimes even though we know stuff isn't good for us, we'll do it anyway because we like to do it. Everybody's got stuff like that, you know. But sometimes you're forced into a detox. And then it kind of forces you to lay off of stuff, which is good. Like, you know, you got to listen to your body. Do what it tells you to do. If your body starts, you know, making you feel bad, it's like, hey, something around here I don't like. You better fix it. So what is it? What is there? While he sells merch. Play it? Okay.
See, this is going to be an amazing presentation.
One eternity later.
It is amazing what people, content creators, you know, some of these guys, they really throw out that I'm a published author deal to gain that clout. But when you read their books, they're not qualified. That's Jason of Archaics right there. Yeah, self-published books, absolute garbage, full of no bibliographies. Yeah, it's I get offended by that, but you know what? That's their business. That's their grift. I do that. But behind the scenes, some of these people, hey, they're doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I got some of them emailing my criminal history to anybody who will listen, but they won't dare say nothing in public because it'll make them look real stupid. I don't give
This is how I'll learn how to imitate.
a damn. All that's out on the open. I got videos talking about it. I'm not proud of it. I was 17 years old.
Interesting how there's no "it sucks what happened to that poor girl" or "I'm sorry for what happened to the victim." Yeah, there's none of that. And I've said, you guys, you know, the first thing I did was go watch interviews of this guy from a while back. It's been a few years now because now he's all, you know, whatever. And he was like, yeah, I did it. And he's like basically admitting, he said he was a horrible person and he deserved to be there. And then, you know, he's just such a hypocrite.
Shit happened. It was 34 years ago. Get over it.
What the fuck? Like, huh?
Because I'm not backing up. And don't even care. So creepy. Yeah, I get emails from a lot of people who show me the exchanges between famous people, man, that you wouldn't even believe, man. Shit talking.
He's lying.
But you won't hear any of these people on these platforms calling me out.
No shit.
So yeah, this video is really in response to that. So I'm going to inform you guys of the business. I'm a convicted felon, guys, with a most unflattering event 32 years ago that sent me to prison real fast. Majority of people on my channel, you already know my criminal history. It's nothing beautiful. I've already admitted to it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's 32 years old. Get over it, grow up, or get off my channel. It's real simple.
No apologies.
Oh, Graham Hancock, they're all in on this together. This is a massive disinformation campaign.
Wait, what did he say? Of course, Jason has to mention Graham Hancock and others claiming they are all in on a conspiracy. Yeah, he does talk about other people. He talks about Graham Hancock a lot. You know what? There's another video that Tartarian Truth made where he talks about him and this dude, Billy Carson. I had no idea who Billy Carson was. Like, I swear, I had no idea. Never saw his face. Never saw a video. I watched this video on that Tartarian Truth made. Next thing on Facebook, every other thing is an ad from Billy Carson, you know, for something, for truth or whatever it is. I don't know, his fake space crap. Anyway.
Graham Hancock, they're all in on this together. This is a massive disinformation campaign, and it has been coordinated with expertise. And that's what you got. It's called archaics. Now, this is basically you're the public, therefore you're stupid, and we can say anything we want to, and with a little bit of good video and music and some talking heads and some agreement, we can make you believe anything because you're dumb. That's me. That's me. We're going to get after it, guys. You already know I'm the same person today that I was 32 years ago as a 17-year-old.
That's
I'm
scary.
I'm going to bring you the business.
That's scary shit.
All I can do is tell you it's very, very good. Might even be good with a little splash of bourbon.
My coffee is just coffee.
2,000 years
No bourbon.
later.
Yeah, these guys, there's a bunch of them. I got a list. I'm building a list. There's people studying my channel and then real cleverly taking material, repackaging it as their own because they ain't got anything. Yeah, I don't have any respect for the entire Gaia network. None. That is the most shill, trash, garbage research I have ever seen.
Dude, did you look at the fucking mirror, you stupid muppet?
And it's easily exposed. And if I have to make it my campaign in the next 5 years just to dissect every narrative that they've put out, I'll do it. We're at the point now that you have created the very monster that you pretended I was when I was 17 years old. So now you're going to deal with it. I promise you, release me onto the streets, evil things are going to happen. I promise you, release me onto the streets, evil things are going to happen. Because
Yikes.
It's nothing to me. Once you have all the data, you have an endless amount of resources to pull.
If it's nothing to him, why does he make multiple posts a day about it? Why does he make entire videos or mention it multiple times per stream?
From to easily put these presentations. Look at me, guys. It's nothing to me. I'm putting out 3 to 4 live videos packed full of data. Some of them going 3 and 4 hours a week.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Yeah. Why isn't anybody keeping up? Because Jason, CIA, I have a very unique history. Once you're CIA for life. And that history is
I'm a CIA operative. This is my CIA handler.
data mining in prison for decades. I didn't have anything else to do but collect data, collect information. I wasn't even trying to really put it all together. It just naturally came together. That's how I found the Phoenix phenomenon. That's how I found Nemesis X. That's how I found...
One debt to society later.
Problem is it looks like in the community now, it looks like CGI, good storylines, eloquence, the ability to pronounce words correctly, and having talking heads agreeing and nodding and yes manning, oh yeah, that's true, and having multiple faces in a video, beautiful video clips. I guess that's how truth is presented today in today's community. I'm really kind of jealous that I didn't have something like that. I'm low budget. I don't spend any money on my videos. None. All this, I've already told you in the past, free. I got free Google downloads. I can go to Google Apps on my tablet.
You know, you guys, this one isn't even that great. Did you guys see the one where he's going to make a university? I have to go to that one because this one's kind of, it's a little bit, that one's 18 minutes and I haven't watched it. I don't know how funny it gets, but there's one that I know is funny because he talks about he's going to do a university. Here we go. Archaics announces Archaics University.
I am Israeli Mossad. You guys, I'm not making any of this up. Things that are not important to me at the present, I'll look at them and shelve them, and I'll just put them in a box. Now I went through all my paperwork from prison, all my notes I'm going through, and I'm like, oh my God, damn, I look like a dumbass. Dawn said something to me it's got me reeling, but I'm thinking it may be necessary. I have so much research data, and I have things that I haven't even put on YouTube. I got so much stuff. I don't know how quite I'm going to do it because it's going to take a lot of my time. And that means there's no way I'm going to do this for free. Life's too short to expect to be paid for everything. That's not even my character type at all.
Yeah, it's
not
the
even
new
about
grift.
money.
It's the new grift.
Money's not even
Archaics
motivating
University.
me, dude. This is something that I would have to charge for. I don't know how much, but she put it in my mind that it's kind of necessary to put a syllabus together and do an Archaics University.
You
Serious?
And do it like a real university where people can select the things that they're interested in called.
I'm sorry, Zulu. Look, you know what? I feel the same way, but you know what, dude? I can listen to it like this because this is how it really sounds to me when people like this talk. And then you go to his channel, he's got like over 100,000 subscribers. He'll have like 1,000 to 2,000 people in his live chat when he's doing live streams. And like, I just gotta wonder how many fucking retards are there on the plane? Fucking how many? How many? Like, seriously? How many retards can there possibly be? There can't be that many. Can there? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, there can. And this is their shit show supervisor. What's this person? Is there an Archaic sympathizer in the chat? Probably. You people have turned into what you hate? What? It's not okay to laugh at the dumb guy who thinks he's so smart and he's debunking Gaia? Like, come on. Come on. How fucking I'm gonna bring back the term baby truther. This is some baby truther bullshit. Come on. Oh, Gaia is the biggest shill. Gaia? Who even fucking talks about Gaia? We even fucking talk about Gaia because it is like understood that it's bullshit. Like, so this guy feels like he actually has to do videos and spend time debunking fucking Gaia network bullshit. I mean, come on. Are we not allowed to laugh? I mean, how else? I mean, for me, it's like if you can't laugh, it'll just make you depressed. It'll just make you depressed if you don't laugh at it. The Phoenix event is coming. Swarming with them. It's okay to laugh at this tool, right? I mean, me and Ted watch these videos and we laugh at them. We're like a belly laugh, like a really good belly laugh. I'm pretty sure we burn calories laughing at this motherfucker. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Hi, Gregory. I hope you're feeling better. Archaic slower. Anyway. Yeah. A university.
Electives, and yet there's core material, and we already put together a program fast. I'm talking about when I get new ideas, I process them fast. Overnight, I'd already thought about it and said, you know what? We can have Archaics University graduate coins minted, and you can't even purchase these coins if you don't actually fulfill 3 of the 4 semesters. I mean, this is going to be a lot of downloaded material, PDFs, presentations of me. giving the lessons.
Basically the same exact
I'm
thing
going to
you
show
currently
all
get
kinds
for
of
free.
things like actual citations from books. I mean, photographs. We're gonna go through material, how to research things. We'll do whole things on different calendrical systems, isometric projections. Actually, show people how to do the isometric projections, and then to verify them using pi, phi, and curvature equations to make sure that they got it right. Because there are ghost projections that you have to avoid. So all this it just overnight, I just got deluged with all these ideas that someone could graduate from Archaics University doing 3 semesters, although I will offer 4. Good night, guys. Because those who take the 4th semester, each one being 3 months long, those are the ones that are going to get a special medallion. He's trying to scam people for money. Those are the ones who are going to actually get a certificate certified from me that they are on the level to start their own social media.
To start their own social media.
Give them all the books, all
that you're on the level to start your own social media, and you can start your own channel, and you could be an Archaics cult leader too. You can be cult leader Archaics California. Yeah, I'm cult leader Archaics Texas, of course, because I'm a good old boy. Dude, come on, you guys, it's funny. It's fucking funny. I don't care who you are. This shit is funny as fuck.
All the teaching materials, everything they need to start their own study groups, and they will have the certificate and a medallion that shows that they were approved by Jason of Archaics. That's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard, because they did the full year tuition. But you can just graduate and get the coin, the Archaics University graduate coin, for taking 3 semesters of things that you want to take, that you're interested in. But for those who want the extra, to where we're going to be involved in making sure you have all the materials you need from Archaics in order for you to start teaching, for you to start holding classes, for you to start your YouTube channels, or whatever you're trying to do, for you to do your Netflix series, whatever it is you want to do, to get endorsed by me
Gaia series
legally, you would have to graduate the whole program.
Legally.
Grifters are everywhere. Whatever it is you want to do, to get endorsed by me officially, legally, you would have to graduate the whole program.
Legally!
Grifters are everywhere. They just find what the easiest scheme by which they can perpetuate in order to fill up their bank accounts or whatever they're trying to do in life. And I'm already putting the syllabus together. I'm going to publish it on YouTube so you guys can see. Here's all the courses. Every course has downloadable lessons. These semesters you will be tested. You will be tested. But I'm just thinking that this is the way to go.
Testes, 1, 2, 3.
I'm even going to have a debate.
It's the same thing for debates. Why would you debate anybody? I don't even see any advantage to a debate whatsoever.
I'm even going to have a debate. A lot of the newer people don't know this. They just don't know this about me. I'm a fucked up individual. I got anger management issues. I can't get ahead in life. I'm always falling behind. No matter how much money I make, I'm always broke. When it comes to debate, I've been holding back because I've just been waiting for that giant to step forward, thinking that they're qualified to contend with all my data sets and my ability to convey them.
I'm not trying to reach up there and talk to a bunch of guys that got millions of subs and all that. It's not me.
By the way, did you know that this guy right here, he got arrested for sexually abusing somebody under the age of 14? Birds of a feather, right?
I'm not even interested in that. So,
but I haven't had a taker yet. No shit. So it's getting to the point where I just don't care. I may go ahead and one of the electives will be on expertise on oratory, what you need to know on how to win arguments, how to win them with inescapable points.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? What the hell? Look, see, I know probably most of you don't watch this dude. I do not watch this dude. I watch Tartarian Truth, and Tartarian Truth finds all the best parts before, so you don't have to sit there and listen to his boring bullshit the entire time. You could just go here and you can find the gems. You can find the highlights. Here, this one's only 4 minutes. Announces the arrest of his co-host.
2 years after I started my channel, I brought Matt in. Matt was introduced to me from somebody else. You guys, a lot of you have been asking about Matt. What happened to Matt? How come you don't do any live videos with Matt anymore? So I'm going to tell you right now. I haven't done anything with him in 5.5 months. But I've been in contact with him. I've been keeping up. Because 5.5 months ago, he entered into a dispute, a family dispute. It's none of my business, but it's a family dispute. He wants custody of his daughter. And he took leave, and basically, he just went on his own way, and he touched base from time to time. And I've been moving forward. I've been pushing forward with videos, just, whatever. He went on, really don't know what to tell people, but last I heard, he was having all kinds of legal stuff going on, in and out of court, doing things. And I know that he has an estranged relationship, and I know that he was having problems getting custody. Well, all that's in the past. That's the least of his problems now, because a month ago, Matt got indicted on sexual abuse of a child, a 14-year-old. And over a week ago, Matt was arrested. So you guys heard it right here. You heard it from me. There's no way to sugarcoat that. There's no way to explain. I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know. No, I just told you the facts. I'm not going to tell you he's innocent. I'm not going to tell you he's guilty. If he's guilty, he needs to go away for the rest of his life. If he's innocent, it's a terrible thing.
If he's guilty, he needs to go away for the rest of his life. But we're supposed to get over his bullshit. Remember the video that we just showed earlier where he's like, it was 32 years ago, grow up, get over it, no going back, who cares? Fucking, this guy is a literal piece of doo-doo. So yeah, I laugh at him. I laugh at people making fun of him because that's what he deserves. And then he wants to come out here and tell everybody what reality is. Like, come on. Sorry, guilty pleasure. Custody did not go well, so he decided to solve it with the panel van and some Snickers bars. There's never any candy in there. Can you get it? So glad I never went to prison. Solid impression. Yes. It's a simulation. We're in the simulacrum. And there is no way to prove my thesis. And you know what I got to say to that, dude? That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, does anybody else want to call in? The number to call in is 848-222-2480. If not, I may start shutting her down. I kind of feel bad for putting that on. I don't know. Like, I don't really like to do that. It's not really my thing to like go around making fun of people, but that guy I feel like deserves it. You know? Like, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And then there's like, people going and hanging out with him and staying with him like he's some great guy. Like, to me, all of it just reeks, stinks. I don't like it. There's nothing good to come from it. You know, I'm just waiting for some horrible story to come out about something that bad that happens in that camp. You know what I'm saying? I sincerely hope it does not happen. But freaky deaky. I've had a sound effect app. Remember, I used it for this.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
What do you mean, Vegas?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
I'm not going to no Vegas.
Yeah, so I just hadn't been using it for a while, but I have a soundboard. I need to load more sounds on it. I want to load I may clip some archaics and put some archaics on the soundboard. Prison cred is such a strange thing. As long as you laughed. You know, I literally just started unfriending people on Facebook. Anybody who, yeah, there's women that defend that guy and talk about how great he is. And I'm like, you're cracked, bitch. Bye-bye. You are cracked. You know, it's like, there are a lot of people in this world. Now, I don't believe in overpopulation. I don't think the world is overpopulated. I think the earth has plenty of resources to feed and care for every human. However, there are too many good people on this plane to waste time and energy on retarded idiots. You know? That's just my opinion. Yeah, it's harsh language. You know, whatever. I'm not even gonna apologize for it, you know? Because it's time. Time is limited. Time is short here. Bad things are happening at an exponential rate. I don't have time to waste on anybody who wants to defend fucking ridiculous, stupid shit. I just don't. I don't. I am much more, you know, I don't want to be here perpetually talking about all these bad things that are going on. I would love for all this shit to go away. I would love for the New World Order to fall and for us to take back our country and take back our lives and our sovereignty and our self-responsibility so that we could all like actually become like the best, you know, live our lives the way that we were meant to live them. And then forget all about this crap and forget about trying to wake people up and forget about dealing with a bunch of idiots and just live my life. Like that sounds like a dream to me. I just want to live my life. I want to look at my flowers. I want to, you know, pet my dog. I want to mow my grass, you know, very simple. I want to sit on my porch with Ted and drink lemonade, whatever. All of that sounds way better to me than dealing with a bunch of idiots who want to defend retards like archaics. Straight up. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I don't know. You got a little frustrated there for a moment.
Who, me?
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
I know, but it's just entertainment value. I'm not really frustrated. Maybe a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
But it's not bad.
Well, you can't help it. With what we're looking at, we've got, actually, if you think about it, we've got two different worlds going on. And that's what's frustrating. You know, you've got the idiots who can't see what's going on, and that's what they're watching. And then you've got everybody else like us who know what's going on, but you can't get them to get together with us, and it gets crazy.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if we were going to keep with the rant and rave or if we were going to go back with some other subjects here.
Oh, well, whatever you called in, so what do you want to talk about?
Well, I was going to ask you if you've heard about the recent theory going kind of basically on the under news, I guess you could say, that, let's see, I'm trying to think of how to put it into a simple phrase. In other words, who's really running our government? In other words, on the bad guy side, the theory is that it's not actually Obama. It's not actually Biden. Listen to me. It's not actually Biden. It's actually Jimmy Carter, because he's actually the only one legally eligible to be president. And then when they basically came in secretly, put him under oath, and then he immediately signs the 25th Amendment, and boom, the only other person that's really eligible to run the country. And you sit there and go, okay, well, Kamala, or whatever her name is, if she's not eligible, Obama's not eligible, Biden's brain dead. Of course, he's actually dead, but that's not my point. You have to sit back, and I sat here and listened to this theory last night, and it's totally plausible. And that's the reason Trump and, the good guys are having such a hard time doing this, getting them out of there legally. Now, and as far as I remember, something about March 28th is the last day, and it gets them out of office somehow. I'm not exactly sure. I have to go back and listen to it. But have you heard this?
I have not.
Wow.
So what are you saying?
Well, I don't want to plug.
The theory is that. I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to plug another channel.
Okay, that's fine. But is it? I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Are you saying that Jimmy Carter's actually the president?
No. I'm saying that when Obama was supposedly, flubbed his 2 little oaths of office. Okay, well, he's not legally supposed to be president. They cannot legally, by our legal standards in the Constitution, he can't legally be president. He wasn't born here.
Right.
Okay, but behind the scenes, because in the U.S. Code of Conduct and the articles and everything, it says basically that he has to be sworn in by noon on such and such a date, but it does not have to be public, and it does not have to be in Washington D.C. Says that in the the actual documents. So if you sit back and think about it, they did this secretly, publicly. Oh yeah, Obama says he took his oath of office. Yeah, bull. And then they secretly do Carter, and then turn around and make him sign the 25th Amendment. So he's basically waiving his rights, which gives basically the whole DC corporation standing to run the country. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I don't even know about the 25th Amendment, so I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing to me. Like I said, I have to go back and listen to this again because it's bits and pieces here and there, and you have to put it all together from these guys, just talking. But when you go back and research and do the actual, pull up those actual documents and read what they're talking about, because I can't read them when they have them on screen, you sit there and go, wow. Legally, if you want to do this legal and lawfully, that's what it looks like. It's pretty close to being true. Which might be why they didn't, besides coming in with a military coup, which is not what they wanted to do because they didn't want to start civil war. So they're trying to do this legally and lawfully. And I look at it this way too. They've actually got several things going on. If you think about it, they've got the Q movement, which keeps people in the know busy so they don't start civil war. And then you've got the other truthers and I'm looking at all the truther infighting going, I'm betting this is set up too to get more people looking at other people, not just listening to one person, getting more of it out there, just spreading it. And it's almost like it's all by design, not just a movie that we're watching on TV, but a movie that's being scripted and coordinated everywhere so that things don't get out of hand. Does that make sense? I want to send you the link to this show that I was watching, but like I said, I don't want to, plug anybody else's show because that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just where I'm getting the information from. How do I do that?
You can email it to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know your email's in my huge book of notes that I always take down that I can't find. That's the reason I called in. So.
Okay. Well,
what is it?
It's just Karen BFE, Karen BFE at protonmail.com.
Okay, I'm going to try that again. Karen what?
BFE, as in Karen B, Flat Earth.
Oh, Flat Earth. At
protonmail.com.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to write, think, and talk at the same time. Okay, I'll send that to you, but I was going to let you know, when you go through this, skip through almost all of it. It's basically towards the end. And then I'll send you this other guy, too. He's on this show, but he has his own show, and he goes through it a little more detailed. He's got some interesting theories, okay? I'll send those to you in the email.
All right, well, cool. I'll take a look at it.
Okay. And then the only other thing I was going to talk about was on this eclipse, they've actually got some, I'm going to tell you that too. The same show, they've actually got some interesting theories of what they think is going to happen during the eclipse. So I think it's kind of, but literally their shows are like 3 and 4 hours long.
Geez.
You clean the house while you listen and jot notes down in between because it's tough to sit down and listen to all of them. Because they get kind of stupid and, sometimes theories go off in left field, but, most of the time they're open to everything. So.
All right.
But we're actually going to be in Sulphur Springs, Texas, which is pretty close to totality.
Oh, cool.
The funny part was I was out there in January, just scoping out places. I was lucky to find the spot I found so I could take my RV. Then all the hotels were booked in near Sulphur Springs. Every single RV park, and I stopped at every single one of them. So, people that are thinking of going out there and spending the night or, finding a place is easy. You can stop alongside the road anywhere, but a place to stay or a place to park your RV, it's not happening. I actually heard the RV parks are taking people who are off grid and selling them a spot along the fence lines. That's how crazy it is out there.
Jeez. Yeah.
I know. So, now that they're making all these announcements about the eclipse and stock up and, and when it comes out on mainstream media, I start going, fear porn, what are y'all doing? No, you're up to something, Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
But the last thing I'm going to be talking about, though, is I wanted to ask you, too. They were talking about a false flag that was aborted back in, what was it? What was the one that they had the I think it was after COVID. I forget which year it was, 2021, maybe 22, where they did the big New Year's Eve and they hyped it all up. Where they had the big Waterford crystal ball that was being redone up there. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay. I don't remember exactly which year it is. That's my problem. But they were talking about it was a false flag that was averted, and what they had planned was they were going to release some kind of biological weapon out of the ball that night that was supposed to really turn people into zombies, kind of zombie drug kind of crap.
Oh.
And that they averted it, and somehow it's in the Q drops, and they went over all this stuff, but I'm not very good at Q drops. Sorry, I dropped them. I'm not very good at Q drops and putting all of these things together, but I find them quite interesting when I get nuggets here and there and consider the possibilities, you know? Maybe the white hats really are in control and they're just, you know, catching people and letting them know what's happening. Who knows?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think anybody good is in control. I'll say that much because there's too much horrible shit happening. So I definitely
that's
think
true.
There's definitely too much more darkness in the world right now than there is light.
I agree, but I also looked at it this way. According to their plans, I mean, even if you think about it, right? The way everything was going for the last, let's say 70 years, they were all right on line, right on track with their plan, and everything was going good. So, you know, if you look at their plan, I mean, literally their plan, 2020 agenda, the 2030 agenda, whatever their stupid dark plans were for the, you know, destroying the world and the Great Reset, according to Schwab, right? You look at that and you start to go, okay, well, where did their plans go awry? And then you start going, okay, by now, literally by 2024, we're all supposed to be half dead. We're supposed to be well into World War III. And, you know, we're supposed to be literally a totalitarian state running the world for Israelis. Anyway, so somebody did something to thwart those plans is the way I look at it. Yeah, you know, and so if you look at it that way, you go, okay, we're in a war. Let's think of it as cleaning house. How do you clean house? You get rid of the big stuff, get rid of the next little critters, and, you know, you're down at the bottom, you have to clean the roaches out from underneath the crevices and crannies. It's messy, it's dirty, it's nasty, crap happens, and unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, you know, in war, yes, bad things are happening, but I don't think a lot of us would be here if the good guys weren't doing something right.
Well, I think a lot of that is just humans in general, like the human spirit. It's like, you know, if you, like, when I was a long time ago, I was looking through a bunch of old newspaper articles and seeing that there's always been flat earthers and they've always been posing the same arguments to the people who are pushing the globe lie. Like, what we're doing now is not new. It's been going on for over 100 years. So for me, it's just that we finally got to a place where there, you know, with the internet, where we were able to use their tools against them. And before that, though, people were doing meetings, people were making pamphlets or little zines or holding, you know, talks in hotels and stuff. It just wasn't as widespread. But now with the internet, you know, we've been able to tip the scales a little bit more in our favor. And they're like scrambling to like damage control with their algorithms, and they're blocking everybody and all of the controlled opposition and, you know, all that stuff. Like, that's what's going on now. And, you know, people are just, you know, at the core of every person, everybody's got to know that there's something wrong and this isn't the way we're supposed to live under so much oppression and darkness. Like, it's just not right. So, you know, it's just one of the laws of the universe, of the ebb and the flow. You know, everything will be reconciled. All opposites are reconciled. So right now, with the heavy darkness, the universe is trying to reconcile that by bringing more light out. That's why we're here. That's our job. That's what we're doing. We are reconciling things. And that's just the way the universe is.
I totally agree with you on that.
All right.
I just thought it was odd that years ago and I've been trying to do research, basically, that's a whole other story, but into my dad's background. And years ago, this was at least 25 years ago, I literally, every time I tried to get into anything that had to do with his background, because he was Black Ops, which I didn't find out till later. But when I did, that's when I started researching. Every single time I'd get into anything close to getting me the truth, my computer would literally get shut down. I don't know, 10, 20 times. And, you know, after a while, you just go, what am I going to do? But then I started noticing, 5 years ago, wow, how come all of this stuff's easy to find now? And nobody's shutting my computer down and nobody's blocking it anymore. I just mean, some things seem to have changed, and you might be right about the ebb and flow, but I just think possibly, and I keep hoping, that really the good guys are beginning to win. Let's put it that way.
Well, I think there's some truth to that, but I just don't think the good guys are in the government or any place of authority.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think they're in the military, not the government.
Maybe.
Yeah, according to, if you look at what's his name, Derek Johnson, he's really good at the codes and conducts and the military law and stuff. I just can't keep up with all of it, but he's really good at telling you what's really going on. And then when you look at how I was talking about lawfully and legally, then the military's been in charge since 1778 or something like that, and never has lost power. And then the government's running the shadow government, which is the big struggle. But, I'm not going to get into that, It's just kind of crazy how it all works out like that.
All right.
Anyway, thanks. I just wanted to give you a call. Didn't want you to leave just right away, Nobody seemed to want to call you.
Well, I do have another caller now waiting.
Okay. Well, then I'll let you go, and I'll get those off to you in the email, okay?
All right. Sure. Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Let's see what's going on here before I pick up the last call. I did feel funky after the 2017 eclipse, and my feelings regarding the moon fluctuated. Yeah. Aurorian says the patients have learned to use the psych ward speaker system, right? You guys are funny in chat. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Line unmuted. Hey, it's Jesse from Hingham. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm tuning in late. A couple things. First off, are you familiar with the viral video where someone's walking around a NASA parking lot and they got all these cars from the late 60s and early 1970s?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, somebody did show me that the NASA's got a ton of vintage vehicles.
And I guess the main conspiracy theory that I've heard is that, they're preparing for an EMP attack, and all those cars, don't have very little, if any, electronics in them.
Right.
I mean, either that or, what are they doing? Like preparing for some movie they're going to do from, the late 60s, early 70s? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, though, don't you think?
Yeah, it is weird for a space agency to be hoarding classic cars. It seems really weird. Not a really good way to spend money if you're trying to go to Mars.
Right. Right. Yeah, good luck landing on a light in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do have another meetup in the Oklahoma City area. That's going to be Saturday, March 23rd, 6 to 9 p.m. Red Rock Canyon Grill, 9221 Lake Hefner Parkway. That's in Oklahoma City. Anyone can call me, RCP 781-857-9175 or 300K Mile Prius at gmail.com. Of course, I'll have the Nikon P1000 with me as usual. Speaking of that, I guess from what I've been reading, apparently they've discontinued the P1000. I think, did you hear that?
Yes. Yeah, apparently they did discontinue the P1000.
I'm wondering if they realize what's actually going on, or if they're just going to have something that's actually going to supersede that. I wonder if anyone's heard anything one way or the other.
I don't know. It doesn't
I
say
mean, the
anything about.
P1000 is already 125x zoom, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
As it is. And speaking of that, I set a personal record for long-distance photography back in the Salt Lake area a couple weeks ago. I just actually sent you the image again if you're able to show it. So there's a place called Gunnison Island, which is a state wildlife refuge in the middle of the Great Salt Lake. And there's a surface road parallel to I-80, which goes along the southern coast of the lake. And I pulled over, and I was actually able to see it with the naked eye and zoomed right in 53 miles. And the elevation differential is just 163 feet. So the Earth is still flat.
Wait, so what is this
Another
again?
example.
Say again what this is?
So, yes, absolutely. So this is so the Great Salt Lake. And Interstate 80 runs parallel, but there's a surface road that goes parallel to that. So there's the southern end of the Salt Lake, and you pull over, and if you zoom to the north-northwest, there's a place called Gunnison Island, Gunnison, I believe. Gunnison Island. It's a state wildlife refuge, so it's pretty much off limits unless you have special permission. But it's clearly visible at 53 miles. And I measured the elevation differential. It's only 163 feet. So roughly 1,800 feet of curvature if we were indeed on a spinning globe. Just another example.
Wow, very good.
Yep. So if anyone's in that area, feel free to check it out. I just thought it'd be something unique, compared to looking at a city skyline like all seeing Toronto or Chicago. People reported seeing Cleveland across Lake Erie. So it's just a different example. Thought I'd share that. How things going in North Kakalaki?
Good, except it got cold again. It was warm for like 2 days, and now it's cold again. Got a freeze warning.
Yeah, same here. Yep. Yeah, same here in Tulsa. Yeah, we're barely going to see 50 today. That's supposed to warm up starting tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
I guess another interesting quick question. I know you're right on the border. Is there any specific reason you chose North Carolina over South Carolina? Is one state better than the other, or is it pretty much the same? I always wondered that, if you're so close.
No. I mean, I didn't really know much about it when I moved here. We did come visit the state before we moved here, and we liked it. But there's not a ton of difference between North Carolina and South Carolina as far as like people go and stuff and like landscape. The laws are a little bit different. North Carolina has a blue governor now, and South Carolina is still red, and South Carolina has lower taxes, and it's a little bit less strict, slightly less. But North Carolina isn't that bad either.
Right.
As far as, at least from my experience living here. So.
Yeah, I can imagine it's definitely better than Massachusetts, my home state.
Yeah, Brian seems to like it here.
Or Massachusetts, as I should always say.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I mean, there's still, no matter where you go, there's one in every crowd, even in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think they've decided they're going to literally wear them forever. It's the only thing I can think of. That program. They're that afraid. I don't know.
Well, yeah, as long as they believe that there's the invisible germ that's going to kill them, they're going to wear that crap.
I mean, unless the only other thing I can think of is if you're a professional shoplifter, and I guess it is a easier way to get away,
Mm-hmm.
Just a way to hide your identity without, quote unquote, hiding your identity like a typical bank robber would have, 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
Right.
I just can't imagine, stifling myself for 4 years now. It's just, I don't know.
No.
Don't know. Don't get it.
Yeah, I know. People, they get used to it. They keep doing it. All right.
Alrighty, well, shout out to you, Mark, Brian Stavely, Cable Guy Forever, Jake and Dan from the band, Rick Hummer, late Rob Skiba, and Bob Nodell, and so many others.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for calling.
All right, talk to you soon. Line muted.
Gonna be planting a cherry tree, right on. I thought about a cherry tree because they got really pretty blooms. Really pretty blooms. Do they actually grow cherries, though? I'd like to have a cherry tree that actually has cherries on it. Cold as a witch's tit. I love those type of sayings. Those euphemisms. I love that shit. For a while, I was like memorizing a bunch of them. I had a bunch of them. They're funny. Colder than a well digger's ass. That one's one of my favorites. Colder than a well digger's ass. Or colder than a catfish on marble. Oh, well, Billington will plant more trees. That sucks. I know, like, I'm planting all this stuff at this house. I don't even know how much longer I'll be able to live here, but, whatever. It adds to the value of the house. So, yeah, Nikon is axing the P1000, turn the clock to the mid-2010s, and the bridge camera zoom wars were in full swing. Canon, Nikon, Sony, and Panasonic were going all out to release cameras with ever-increasing optical zoom ranges, smashing through 50x, 60x, and even 70x. Then in 2015, Nikon set what would have been the unbeatable benchmark, 83x optical zoom, courtesy of the Coolpix P900. That equates to a full-frame equivalent range of 24 to 2,000 millimeters, and no digital zoom cheatery was involved. With that kind of reach, surely the bridge camera zoom wars were over. Who could possibly need any more zoom than that, and even if there was such a demand, could a lens even be made with a greater zoom range? Fast forward to 3 years to 2018. Another bridge camera manufacturers were clearly willing to give up. The zoom fight is that 83x benchmark had not been beaten, but in one last triumphant flick of the middle finger to the competition, Nikon decides to create the biggest, baddest, most audacious bridge camera ever made. The camera that didn't just beat the P900's old 83x record, it absolutely obliterated it with an unbelievable 125x optical zoom, equating to a full-frame equivalent 24 to 3,000 millimeter focal range. Nikon Coolpix P1000 instantly became a legend. The camera seemingly built purely to demonstrate Nikon lens making prowess. The concept camera made real. So now I don't know if the P900's being discontinued or if they still make the P900. But they are shelving the P1000. Apparently it's because of shortage of camera parts. See, there was the small issue. The price, P1000, fittingly cost $1,000. That's a lot for a small sensor compact camera, even if it is strapped to a lens the size of a drain pipe. That can double as a telescope. See, this is why, yeah, it really is like a telescope. I couldn't therefore recommend people actually go out and buy the P1000 with the hard-earned cash, at least not when other bridge cameras offered similar performance, still with enough zoom for any eventuality in a more compact package. So if you have a P1000, that's, you know, that's a collector's item now. This is a P900, this picture right here. So, let's see. I wonder if they are still, if you can still buy a P900. Let's see. Used. Are all of these used? No, you can get them new for $4.94. So there's brand new. What's this one? Oh, this is used. Yeah, so there's still about $500 for a brand new P900. But you know, a P900 is totally sufficient for busting the globe. Because clearly we were doing it with the P900 for a couple of years before the P1000 came out. I mean, I remember when I kept hearing about the P1000 and I thought it was just a stupid rumor because I could never find anything about it and I was just calling BS on it until they finally did release it. And it is a real camera. But, yeah, it's really hard to use. It's not exactly user-friendly because it is so freaking huge. It's lofty. It's not a point and shoot, that's for sure. They all play together. Philanthropy, foundations, NGOs, climate hysterics. Yes, Ralph, yes. I don't know if you're aware, but the Vatican news in the past 10 or 20 years, but I would recommend anyone, whatever they believe, go search Apocalypse Now in the Vatican to see this information. You car shopping, Jana? Does a frog bump its ass when it hops? Hotter than a whore in church. Hotter than a half-fucked fox in a forest fire. Does Howdy Doody have a wooden dick? Colder than a polar bear's toenail. That uses film. Do you know how expensive film is now? Remember how cheap it used to be? You could get like a roll of film. I remember getting a roll of film developed and it would be like $5, right? Or you could get like doubles for like $6.50 or something stupid like that. Something like that. Now, man, I remember when I went to go get a roll of film developed, the last time I went to do that was when I got married. That was in 2008. And one roll cost $45 freaking dollars. $45. Sweating like Bill Janklow at the Sturgis rally. I used to say sweating like a whore in church. Well, when I was in San Diego, it was $45 freaking dollars. Paid $45. Yeah, so if anybody who's going to film the eclipse, remember this, shadow bands. A rare phenomenon to look for near totality is shadow bands. Shadow bands are undulating shadows that are most easily seen on plane surfaces. They are subtle but may appear for a few minutes before and after totality, as seen in this enhanced video. Yeah, I recorded shadow bands and then I had to enhance the video. See that it's like weird, this weird wavy light that goes. You have to have like a couple of white poster boards up to see it. But this is what happens, these shadow bands. It's weird. Man, I just don't know. It's just it's everything that when all the stuff that goes on during the eclipse is just so bizarre. Just things that you hardly ever see in nature happening naturally. Like it's just so crazy. So, anyway, lots of interesting stuff. We'll be going down. Watch out for healthcare supplement shysters. Do your own research. What else? What else? "25th Amendment, What is this? That was just something I was reading. Oh, yeah. Things about electrical frequencies messing with farm animals. I was looking up the history of heavy equipment. Piazza del Campo. That's where Tony's at. I've been here. Aw. I want to go back. To go back to Italy. Italia. Maybe Trump and the good guys will let us see the eclipse that government is trying to hide from us. I can't. I know. I know, you guys. Been waiting for the extinction. SoCal is expensive with everything, but that's a hell of a markup. Don't join any cults. Thank you, Steph 40. Looking at that building. There was an eclipse, I think, at the birth and death of John Paul II, and the prophecy of Saint Malachi is Latin phrase refers to eclipse. Also, the theory is that JP II was the Antichrist. I don't know. Well, I don't think it is. I think there are people who are trying to bring the Antichrist into existence. This is some other stuff. Like, I was reading something, again, you know how I the one, like, crazy topic that I've been looking at and talking about recently, the one real off-the-wall, highly speculative, but very interesting topic of the homunculus and what the Jews are doing in the tunnel. And I saw that there was, somebody was talking about some stuff going on at the Temple Mount. Okay, so the Temple Mount. You guys familiar with the Temple Mount? The Temple Mount, or Mount of the House of the Holy, also known as Haram al-Sharif, Al-Aqsa Mosque Compound, Jerusalem's holy site. It's the Holy Rock. Okay. The Temple Mount is the place where past Jewish temples are commonly believed to have stood, which places it along with the nearby Western Wall among the holiest sites in Judaism. According to Jewish tradition and scripture, the first temple was built by King Solomon, the son of King David, in 957 BCE, and was destroyed by the Neo-Babylonian Empire, together with Jerusalem in 587 BC. No archaeological evidence has been found to verify this, but scientific excavations have been limited due to religious sensitivities. Second temple was constructed under the auspices of Zerubbabel in 516 BCE and was renovated by King Herod and was destroyed by the Roman Empire in 70 CE. Orthodox Jewish tradition maintains it is here that the third and final temple will be built when the Messiah comes. Now, what does it say? The Temple Mount is the place Jews turn towards during prayer. Jewish attitudes towards entering the site vary. Due to its extreme sanctity, many Jews will not walk on the mount itself to avoid unintentionally entering the area where the Holy of Holies stood, since, according to rabbinical law, there is still some aspect of divine presence at the site. So there's a bunch of stuff. So allegedly, they're getting ready to try to build a third temple. Now, the third temple is not supposed to be built until there's a coming of the Messiah. Let's see. They weren't allowing Palestinians to enter the Temple Mount. But anyway, and I don't know if this is true. They were saying supposedly that they have a bunch of infrastructure set up at the Temple Mount where they're going to sacrifice 3 red heifers. Let me see if I can... Oh, look, it's already showing up. Oh, but they don't want to show it to me. Banned. Yeah, I'm not gonna get anything on. They're not gonna show it to me. So let me see if I can find it here. Israel police. Oh, look at this. Israel police saying don't fall victim to the fake news being spread surrounding the Temple Mount. Oh. That tells me that we should definitely believe the fake news being spread about the Temple Mount. So a lot of stuff about Ramadan showing up. But man, anyway, I saw something where they were basically getting ready to try to build the 3rd temple. But I don't know if it's true. Maybe that is a rumor. Today, 70,000 people prayed on the Temple Mount with no incidents. That's very nice. Anyway, why did I start looking at this again? Oh, because of the homunculus. So anyway, there's supposed to be a Messiah. And the Jews are apparently waiting for the Messiah to return because they don't believe that Jesus was a Messiah. Which is it's so crazy. Because Muslims do believe that Jesus was a Messiah. And he's mentioned in the Quran many times. And when they talk about Jesus, they say, Jesus, peace be upon him. The same way when they talk about Muhammad, peace be upon him. So the Muslims actually have more respect for Jesus than the Jews do. So anyway, that's the whole thing with them bringing back the Messiah and then building the 3rd temple. There was something about building a 3rd temple. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, jewishvoice.org. Update on the building of the 3rd temple. Those who believe Scripture contains literal fulfillment of biblical covenants for the Jewish people and the land of Israel recognize rebuilding the temple as part of this promised future. In Jeremiah's presentation of the new covenant for Israel, read, blah, blah, blah. Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I'll fulfill the good word which I have spoken concerning the house of Israel and the house of Judah. In those days and at that time, I will cause righteous branch of David to spring forth, and he shall execute justice and righteousness on the earth. In those days, Judah shall be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell in safety. And this is the name by which the Lord shall be, by which she shall be called. The Lord is our righteousness. Blah blah blah. The Messianic age when all Israel will be saved and restored to the land of Israel. At that time, a righteous descendant of David, the Messiah, will sit on the throne in Jerusalem, and the temple will again stand complete with its Levitical priesthood. If this is to be a future reality, is there any sign of preparation for a 3rd temple in Israel today? Since 1887, when the temple movement began preparations for the rebuilding of the Third Temple, efforts to see this become a reality in the 21st century have been slowly progressing. While modern Israel and a large percentage of the Jewish people throughout the diaspora are secular, Orthodox Jews do not believe these people will play a role in rebuilding of the temple since it is a spiritual work. It is Orthodox Jews who revived the Sanhedrin, the religious body that supervised the halakhic issues related to the temple and who intend to see it rebuilt in a proper way. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, where they want to build this temple, right, on the site of the Temple Mount, and there's a mosque there, and of course the Arabs do not want the Jews building a temple on one of their most holy sites. So well, when I search Third Temple, I sure get a lot of hits. Building the Third Temple. What is the Third Temple? Jews begin building Third Temple on Israel Independence Day. What is this? Look at the Hamas hostage counter. Hilarious. When is this published? There's no date. Oh, May 6th, 2022. I think the other one was from 2022 as well. J Post. Can a third temple be built without destroying Dome of the Rock? A new Jewish interfaith initiative launched last week argues building the third Jewish temple in Jerusalem would not necessitate the destruction of the Dome of the Rock. God's Holy Mountain Vision Project hopes to diffuse religious strife by showing that Jews' end-of-days vision could harmoniously accommodate Islam's present architectural hegemony on the Temple Mount. This vision of religious shrines in peaceful proximity can transform the Temple Mount from a place of contention to its original sacred role as a place of worship shared by Jews, Muslims, and Christians. So, yeah. So, anyway, there's a lot of, crazy stuff, crazy contentions going on here. What is the third temple prophecy explained? Is the third temple in Jerusalem literal or symbolic? Where is the third temple in the Bible? When Judah and Jerusalem fell to Babylon and Solomon's temple destroyed, Ezekiel has a vision of the temple rebuilt in his book. He describes the size and layout of his new temple and explains how the glory of God comes to that temple. In his book, Ezra builds a second temple and restores worship in Jerusalem. However, the second temple is not the one seen by Ezekiel in his vision. The two are vastly different. Again, the visible glory was absent at the dedication of the second temple. A contemporary of Ezekiel, Daniel chapter 8, talks about the restoration of worship in Jerusalem along with an antichrist figure that perverts that worship. This was written before the building of the second temple and also has connections to the messianic ideas in Daniel's writings. In the Gospels, several things happen at the second temple. Jesus spoke of his own body as the temple of God, telling the Jews that if they tore it down, he would build it again in 3 days, which was crazy talk to them, but Jesus was talking about his own death and resurrection. Jesus also cleanses the temple, notably the outer court in possibly 2 separate events. Jesus also taught regularly on the outer court of the temple where all the people could meet, Jew, Gentile, male, female, old, young, people with disabilities, everyone. The only other actual physical temple spoken of in the New Testament is in Revelation 21, within the vision of new heaven and the new earth, a place which is both temple and the city of God. Short answer is that nowhere do we see a physical third temple being built on this earth, unless we are talking about something different. What? I guess this is probably a deep subject to be trying to get into this late in the show. Probably have to just skip that and look at that later offline. Will his descendant Walk around with a disembodied dick and pretend it's a slingshot. Oh my god, that's so funny. The third temple is rumored to be being built underground. Prophet. Yes, prophet. What did I say? Messiah? Because they say Prophet Muhammad and prophet, and Jesus was a prophet. Right. I probably said the wrong thing, and I'm sorry. The Antichrist declares himself God in the Temple of God, essentially where this took place was when JP II said that every man is the Christ, the Son of the living God. He did this at the Templum Vaticanus, the Vatican Temple, which is the site of where St. Peter's grave is, which is where prophecy will play out. Let us see what's Trump do when he's elected. You think Trump's gonna get elected? Do you think anybody's really elected? Jews no doubt are involved. The temple will not be rebuilt, as the prophecy does not refer to a satanic temple. It refers to the temple of God. Huh. Anti-popes? What if a third temple is a euphemism for third eye, and the building of the third temple is actually referring to the awakening of civilization? Just a thought. That is very interesting. Although 3 seems to be a very divine number, doesn't it? It's, most things in divinity and it's 3s. So, it can be a third something, huh? How can it not be a real building when they want to do sacrifices in there? The temple cube. It's interesting, this 70, the 70, the year 70, there's something about that year. AD 70. Siege of Jerusalem, 70 CE. There's something about this year. This is because the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, and then this is when a lot of the people who believe that we're living after Christ's millennial reign, after the millennial reign, that this is when it started. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. For the siege by Nebuchadnezzar that led to the destruction of the first temple, see Siege of Jerusalem. For other sieges upon the city of Jerusalem, see Siege of Jerusalem. Siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE was a decisive event of the First Jewish-Roman War, in which a Roman army led by future Emperor Titus besieged Jerusalem, the center of the Jewish rebel resistance in the Roman province of Judea. Following a 5-month siege, the Romans destroyed the city and the Second Jewish Temple. In April 70 CE, 3 days before Passover, the Roman army started besieging Jerusalem. The city had been taken over by several rebel factions following a period of massive unrest and the collapse of a short-lived provisional government. Within 3 weeks, the Roman army broke the first 2 walls of the city, but a stubborn rebel standoff prevented them from penetrating the thickest and third wall. According to Josephus, a contemporary historian and the main source for the war, the city was ravaged by murder, famine, and cannibalism. The destruction of Jerusalem and the Second Temple marked a major turning point in Jewish history. The loss of Mother City and Temple necessitated a reshaping of Jewish culture to ensure its survival. Judaism's temple-based sects, including the priesthood of the Sadducees, developed out of a Pharisaic school. Pharisaic beliefs became the foundational, liturgical, and ritualistic basis for rabbinic Judaism. Many followers of Jesus of Nazareth also survived the city's destruction. Derpy derpy derp. For the Bar Kokhba revolt was a large-scale armed rebellion initiated by the Jews of Judea led by Simon Bar Kokhba against the Roman Empire. Third and final escalation of the Jewish-Roman Wars. The beast in Revelation is pagan Rome returned. If they select Trump, he will make sure they keep stealing our money for Space Force. Yeah, no kidding. Every 70 years, debts are forgiven. It's supposed to be 7, not 70. October 28th, 2028. 70 years from the false election of John XXIII. 23. Is that 23? Yeah, that's 23. Well, I think of it differently. Elon Musk is standing in the temple of God. How's that? Does it have to do with him putting his penis rockets up there? Yeah. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today for another episode of Coffee Talk. If you missed last week and you watch on YouTube, I did have to delete my Coffee Talk from last week because I said all kinds of horrible things that YouTube doesn't want me to say. So you can watch it on other platforms. I do have a website. It is Flat Earth Festivals at flatearthfestivals.com. If you go to flatearthfestivals.com, you can go find meetups, flat earth friendly meetups, and people email me their meetups. So I think Jesse said he's having one this Saturday, so I have to go look at my emails. I might have missed posting that most recent one, but there are all kinds of meetups listed. There's recurring meetups. This one, Jam in the Plane, is a little camp-in get-together that this guy throws on his property every year. So this is the 4th time he's doing it in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's called he calls it a truther jam session, talent show, barter / meetup, camp out on private property. This year it's going on June 22nd and 23rd, 2024. And the information is there on my website. Also, Flat Coast, Florida is having a meetup. April 14th is their next meetup at Bach Towers in Lake Wales, Florida. Details are there on the website. And there's also going to be a meetup in Schaumburg, Illinois, March 23rd. I think, yes, at the Global Brew Tap House. And then there was something else. Carrie sent me a meetup and it's not showing up here. Why not? Hold on. Lake Butler. Lake Butler, Florida, Saturday, April 27th. I might have forgot to make that post public, cause derpy derp. So let me do that right now. Well, one sec. I will do it. But April 27th, 2024, starting at 2 p.m.-ish. Car camping in the yard, okay. So it's like a camp out type thing in Lake Butler, Florida. So the details are on my website. I will make them public in just a few minutes, probably right after this. And so there you go. Can't believe I forgot to make that public. No, flat earth friendly meetups. Post. Why wasn't it showing up? Or am I just blind? Am I just half-retarded? No, it's right there. Oh, okay. I am blind. That's what happens when you get old. Become an old lady, a grandma. Hey, Mark. Alright, you guys. Shutting her down. Thanks for being here. Sorry for my long goodbye. Sorry for my tardy. But you know, this is very casual. This is a very casual stream. This is coffee talk, man. It's very casual. Come and go as you please. Alright, thanks for being here. I'll see y'all later. Cheers! And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations, and I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.